She wants to get ladies in Guinea to start practicing yoga to like improve their public health, like actually have them go to hospitals, like start trusting hospitals. And she's so impressive.
That's really cool.
She's so many things.
You can be all those things too.
I don't know about that.
Okay, we have a new breaking news segment for the podcast. There were bombing threats in Arkansas.
Say that again.
There were bombing threats at colleges in Arkansas.
Oh yeah, I talked to one of my volunteers about that today.
Yeah, there's breaking news about it. Apparently, some guy just called in and confessed.
People are crazy. Is Emma here?
Yeah, she's upstairs in her room. No Nathan tonight. just signed on to this pre-stream. I need to put the starting soon thing on. There we go. There now we have the audio input capture. Check. Screen capture. Let's go and do the audio output capture. Yeah. Hello, just doing a mic check. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, mic check, mic check. Just doing a mic check. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, mic check, mic check. Just doing a mic check. Hello, hello, hello. Mic check, mic check. Just doing a mic check. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Okay. Hello, mic check. Checking the mic levels. Hello, mic check. Checking the mic levels. Hello, mic check. Checking the.
Hello.
I'm having some issues with the mic today, but I think I got it fixed.
Why?
I'm not sure what it is. I think it's fixed now. Please take a seat. I'm trying to get this square in the middle.
Square in the middle?
Square in the middle with you. I'm stuck in the middle with you. God, this desktop audio is so weird to figure out. We'll get it. Oh yeah, do you like the bidet?
It's interesting for sure.
Yeah. Come in. And the gang's arriving.
Hello.
Hello. Would either of you gentlemen like to use the restroom before we begin?
Are you offering?
No.
Yes.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
if you're
you
offering.
should no, go
I'm
use
offering.
the bathroom. Go use the
Use this bathroom.
Use that bathroom.
This is like the worst fucking bait I've ever heard of.
Look at.
I'll do it for the joke.
There's just a bucket of paint like hung over the door. I just spent.
Go use it.
Go use it. You see the fucking.
What the fuck?
You're curious now, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna mute it a little bit while we.
Mercedes, thank you. Another story developing through the day. More than a dozen.
Technically, we have another 4 minutes.
No,
before
it's
the
literally
scheduled
the
podcast
schedule's
time.
at 7. We have 2 minutes. Welcome.
That's wrong then.
That is wrong. Welcome to the Spectrum.
Oh no, you don't. That's not the intro.
All right.
Okay. No.
Try again, Dave. Give us another one.
No. Here's the real intro.
The intro is a
Do
cold.
you have like a recorded thing on there?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Spectrum.
The intro is how I feel after leaving quarantine after like so long.
10,000 years on free. Time to conquer Earth.
It's a shame that this is the last episode of the podcast.
Well.
I at least don't know what that is. So, what is that?
With Power Rangers.
It's
Power Ranger
Pulsa. Yeah. Okay. Can you two just like say something so I'm making sure the mic's on the right setting?
Hello, my name is Raven.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zach. That work?
Pog.
Poggers.
Loser detective. Sorry, Tristan, you're off the cast.
Oh no, I'm off the cast.
Oh no, the cast. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about 2 things I think the group will find, our viewers will find very
Or
interesting.
viewer.
Shout out to Tom.
Shout out to the mountain, the man himself. The mountain man himself. Some of the viewers will find very, very interesting. Ukraine and the Russian conflict and the anti-work movement in America. Nice.
For
Nice
this
long
episode, we're drinking Knockmore Irish Whiskey. Number 28. Apparently, it's really good.
He just smelt it and died.
Do you want any
Is
ice?
it that bad?
I have some ice trays.
We'll see. For those of you at home who can't see the shenanigans, we're drinking this out of shitty wine glasses. Sorry, Dave. Terrible wine glasses.
They're Target
and
wine glasses. We paid
warm-
good money for these. Okay, so the first
It's fucking harsh,
Oh
man.
boy.
so the first thing I want to talk about is actually somewhat local news. So have you guys heard about what's been happening in Little Rock lately?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
We're drinking
currently
whiskey.
Dying.
I don't give a fuck. I'm reading the news bit. So, according to THV11.com,
Wish I could read.
Yeah, you wish you could too. According to THV11, which is a reliable news source for local news in Arkansas, the mayor. Okay, so the mayor of Little Rock has claimed that 2 of Little Rock's HBCUs, historically black colleges and colleges and universities, or
Probably
colleges?
colleges and. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't pick one or the other.
Well, no, in Europe they're different things. Like
Well, yeah, they're
Yeah,
different things here too. They got
Yeah.
like colleges of medicine and colleges of law. At,
Colleges of-
colleges of law. They have colleges of law.
Okay, so
anyway, sorry.
the point is, they received bomb threats on Tuesday, February 1st, which is today. According to a Little Rock Police Department report generated Tuesday morning, a suspect called 911 and told communications that he was a neo-Nazi and had set C4 charges at Philander Smith College another college nearby, presumed to be Arkansas's Baptist College, and a vehicle bomb in a white van at Shorter College. I've been to like 5 basketball games at Shorter College in high school.
There was never any bombs.
No, I mean, the only bombs was like
This whiskey upsets me.
the balls we were throwing on the court.
This is bad.
Okay,
Very bad.
as reported by the Associated Press, at least half a dozen historically black universities in 5 states in the District of Columbia were responding to bomb threats Monday, with many of them locking down their campuses for a time.
Dun, dun, dun.
What the fuck was the deal with Monday? Is Monday a special day?
Oh, you're being sarcastic.
No, I'm being serious.
Oh, no, it's February 1st. Sorry. Today's February 1st, the start of Black History Month.
Oh, no, I thought you meant
So-
like the bomb threats were yesterday.
No, a lot of them were yesterday and today. Like yesterday,
I see.
like to preempt the start.
Today.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Interesting. I
Yes,
still don't know what this podcast is about.
it's
Yes. We're in a bit of an identity crisis, listeners.
I thought we were just talking about stuff.
we are
We were
talking.
gonna research stuff.
We had to do a little update, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a news
It's the
read.
first
It's
of
like
the month.
first of the Black
First
History.
of the month news read.
First of the month news read. Black History Month. Yes.
Yeah, how does one even acquire C4?
I don't. It has to be lying. Like they have to be
Obviously.
Oh, no,
he's
it's-
That's
yeah,
an
not
obvious
real,
lie,
Yeah.
but like,
lying.
I don't know. Do you still have to take an obnoxiously impossible threat like that seriously?
Oh yeah, you absolutely do.
Oh, you
Yeah.
totally. Because like if you don't, then like
That's how people get swatted.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like this person obviously has no way of committing these horrible atrocities. But we have to respond as if they are, because if they are, and we don't, we're the bad guys.
I guess that's fair.
He-
Wait, do they shut down for a specific amount of time? Is that what you said?
I think they shut down. So their procedure is they're shutting down today while the fire department clears the buildings.
Mm.
Hello, Emma. You've made it to the cast, and the whole gang is here. So the fire department's clearing the buildings now. They'll probably be back open by the end of the week.
End of the week?
Yeah, dude. You got
How
to
big
like.
are the colleges?
I mean, they're going to check every like nook and cranny for like
How many
anything.
nooks and crannies can be in a building?
I mean, like
Lot
okay,
of notes.
okay,
That's
okay.
5.
I've been to Shorter. Shorter's basically like one basketball court, so it shouldn't take them too long to clear that.
I gotta say, I was a janitor for a long time. I found all the places you hide stuff.
You know, funny enough, we had when I was in high school, we had a bomb threat.
Yeah.
Like we had 2 bomb threats in 1 week. Yeah, it's just someone called the office and said they were going to blow up the school, like that, but they still had to. They still
Better on the second one.
They still had to evacuate us.
Dude.
I mean, but we got evacuated. They literally had us wait out in a field that was right next to the highway. I'm like, if someone like had a
the most-
gun and they were just like on the edge of the
Most
highway.
Arkansas thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, so we were
You got wait past
easy.
right?
No, easy. Yeah, God, easy
God.
pickings.
Oh, okay. Whenever I was running past one of the elementary schools, it literally had how many students go to that school, and I was like, "That
Kill
is
count.
weird." Exactly.
Scoreboard.
Yeah.
So,
I was so confused. I was like, "Why? Don't do that. Don't put
Should we put-
408 learners."
Should we put a disclaimer that we do not support school shootings?
We do not.
the stream's getting pulled already. How many times you said school shooting?
We also don't support Knockmore Irish whiskey.
Okay,
This
but
is no longer an
I do
ad.
want to say like so.
No longer an
the
ad.
more so
We gotta
my
knock the knock.
my
guys.
neighboring town Cabot had a
This
bomb.
is a whiskey podcast.
No, we're not. This is not I'm going to talk over you. Okay. My neighboring high school, Cabot, also had a bomb threat. But this was, I think, the same year that 13 Reasons Why came out.
Oh, God.
So the bomb threat in Cabot was someone wrote in lipstick in the girls' bathroom mirror that unless Coach so-and-so admits what he did to me, a bomb will go off during first period. So they evacuated Cabot. And they evacuated my school, too, just in case we were, like, so close, even though we're, like, 20 miles away. But
Did
still.
the coach admit to it?
There was like an investigation. They found like no wrongdoing, which I don't know enough to comment on. But still, it's like that's the most dramatic, like theatrical way to do a bomb threat. I kind of respect the style.
Yeah, that's over the top. It's, again, a lot of these are just so comical.
Comical.
We never had a bomb threat, I think.
Did you ever make a bomb threat?
No, sadly. We never got the chance. We did have to... I don't know if you remember this. Tristan and I went to the same school. I don't know if you remember
Where did
this
y'all
in
go to school?
Conway.
Oh, okay.
Way to dox us, douche.
Yeah. Tristan, who lives at 13 Drury Lane. And
Right next
Anyway.
to the Muffin Man.
anyway, but
He wishes he lived next to
in
the Muffin
8th
Man.
grade, we had to have a school lockdown because there was a man on campus with a gun. Do you remember this?
Fuck!
And
guy?
yeah, so it was someone in high school who was a junior ROTC person
Oh,
who was doing
Christ.
one of the
Yeah.
the drills with like those fake wooden guns that
Yeah,
are
we were in
obviously
like
fake.
8th
Like it's just
grade.
one piece of wood, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. It's like
Yeah.
a solid board.
Mhm.
I mean, it looks
And
like
we
a gun
had-
from far away.
Yeah.
We had a class called career orientation, and they do a lot of the stuff. So that was like the military part.
Career
Is this guy was
orientation.
doing the gun drills? You know, you spin the gun around and whatnot. I don't even know what it is. It's a fake gun. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I just imagine
Parade.
like an active shooter doing like sick gun drills before,
juggling.
yeah, before he uses it.
But
the
it's-
Damon's man.
the
They
class
never
was
do the
on
gun
like
drills.
the far end of the school from the front door, so he walked all the way to the back with that, so everyone saw him. And for some reason, the teacher forgot to tell anyone else in the school that there was someone coming with that. So they locked down the school. But I remember being locked down for like
Like a period, like
yeah.
45 minutes.
But no one ever came. No one ever did anything, and they never confirmed.
Yeah.
As far as I know, the class never.
This is also a career orientation teacher who built a lake in the back of the school with no way to aerate it and put fish in it.
Wait,
Oh.
what the fuck? No,
Because she's a very smart person.
you could no wait. You can't just drop that and not elaborate.
There's nothing to
That's-
elaborate
No,
on.
wait, how do you build a lake inside of a school?
No,
Inside?
You said in the back. I
We
said
had a
the
large
back.
yeah,
Oh, at the back
large
lot.
the
area, like,
playground.
behind the
Oh.
running track.
and they just didn't think like, oh, I can just fill a hole with water.
What else
Pretty
would a
much.
track be used for? A running track?
I think-
race car
yeah,
track?
you could. I mean, it could be a walking track. That's what insert name of school we're currently at has a walking track.
It's called
upstairs.
a walking.
Yeah.
Oh no, we used
That's
to.
a walking track.
My teacher used to make us run on that. Doing a mile inside sucked. It was like torture because it's so boring.
Yeah.
No,
It's
you're
the
just
worst.
like and the loop is so small, so you run it like a million times. You're like,
I want to go home, but this is home because I'm in the dorms.
and then Renee's like beating you with a stick.
Dude, quit doxing.
You know how many fitness instructors are named Renee? I just docked
Oh,
half
like
the
half.
fucking country.
God.
It's like okay, it's like we were talking about names earlier today. No girl is going to be named Karen for like 30 years.
Hopefully. It's a bad name.
Yeah.
It is a bad name.
I mean, I
Can
think-
you imagine looking at a little baby and being like, Karen?
Yeah, but what started the whole thing with like Karen is synonymous for like bitch now?
I think it
Lots
was
of
like
people named Karen.
upper middle class. That was an upper middle class white name that was common, which are the kind of people
also
who would.
waspy.
Yeah, it's very waspy, which are the kind of people who would become actual Karens, you know? What you got over there, Dave?
I'm sorry, Teach Me 11 started playing the fucks. It's a stupid ad.
Oh, gotcha.
I really hope that didn't play in the stream.
It was a Teach Me 11 ad.
Oh,
No, I mean, like, I hope it wasn't, like, over our voices.
Oh, it was. It was so quiet. So like, I'm not recording desktop audio, only mic audio.
Cool.
Nice.
So it should have like ignored it, but I have some audio issues. But it just started. Like I just heard it.
For our
So.
2 fans, it's very obvious who runs
Wait,
the
how many
show.
people are listening?
This is not accurate. Like, because like I know more than this are listening now because I've been texting them. Oh, Emma, do you want to send your friend the link?
Okay.
Okay.
We've also all got the stream pulled up on our phones.
Yeah.
Artificially
it says there are
inflated
5
I
people
have,
watching.
I have,
Wow.
I have paid
Wow.
$5 so a Korean bot farm can give us 50,000 views.
Yes.
Thank you to our Korean fans.
Our Korean, long live the true Korea, South Korea.
BTS Army or whatever the fuck you want.
I'll send you the link.
That's funny.
Dude, okay, so
Oh, and I don't even know how this happened. I think I was like trying way too hard to show somebody the podcast at work. Our buddy, yeah. And I just typed in so many things and I couldn't find it because I didn't know it was called Hot Boys on the Spectrum.
it is Hot Boys on the Spectrum.
But after a while, that's all it keeps recommending me our Chris Chan stream now
Yes!
at work. And it keeps sliding it into the autoplay.
How many views do we have on that Chris Chan stream?
Oh my god, let me see.
What? 1,000? That's so
No.
crazy.
No, there's no way.
Last time I heard it was like at 80.
Yeah, 74.
74.
Which is so episode 122, episode 2 74.
I'm glad the one where we talked about stepsister porn for 30 minutes isn't the
Me
most
too.
viewed one.
That would have been pretty cursed.
We did that?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Oh,
Yeah, we
God,
did.
That's a lot of trauma. So, what do you guys know about Russia and Ukraine currently?
I know that Ukraine's about to be part of Russia.
Yeah. I've done like
I know that Russia's looking for some, as we could say, Lebensraum.
What?
Did you just say what?
Yeah, what?
Oh, sweet Emma. That's what the Nazis said when they invaded
Poland.
Yeah, when they invaded Poland. They needed living space. Lebensraum.
Oh.
I'm comparing Putin to Hitler.
see
That makes sense.
that's a very apt comparison. I'm going to
Actually, now that's like diluted. It's not that bad.
I'm going to summarize why this conflict happened. In short, so just brief intro to foreign policy. So you see, there's this organization called NATO.
Okay, that's true.
And NATO was essentially the U.S. answer to the Soviet Union. So instead of invading our neighbors and establishing puppet dictatorships, we just formed trade alliances and military alliances, basically, with Western Europe.
It's a trade organization.
Trade organization, North Atlantic Trade Organization, right?
Treaty organization.
Treaty organization.
You goobers.
Thank
Anyway.
you. And that's for the next segment. I have a little slideshow going. And so this organization, so as Russia fell, Khrushchev was in talks with like the U.S. president and stuff.
Is he the one with the like?
What?
Not Khrushchev. Fuck
Oh,
no,
Gorbachev.
Gorbachev.
Which one was the one with the fucked up face?
Wait, with the mark?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Gorbachev.
That's Gorbachev.
Yeah.
Mr.
Still alive, by the way.
He is still alive. My social studies teacher in 8th grade met him.
That's kind of cool.
No, he like kind of pushed him out of the way at an airport. No, Gorbachev pushed my teacher.
Damn right. That
Yeah.
man takes no shit from anyone.
He did not.
Even
Like,
to this day.
It's so amazing he hasn't been like heart attacked yet by like the Russians or the CIA. He knows.
Yeah.
No, they just don't care about him.
Yeah, he's
At this
well.
point,
He
yeah.
kind of just like led the Soviet Union through its dissolution and didn't become a horrible dictator. So I guess
Didn't allow it to fucking implode.
yeah,
By making it implode.
by
Well, like it could have.
okay.
You know what I mean? It could have been a lot worse.
And so, as NATO is accepting more member states, like we have Poland as a member state, and I think Estonia is also a member state.
Yeah.
Russia is feeling more and more threatened, and so Russia essentially told NATO, "Hey guys, you can't ever have Ukraine. You got to promise us Ukraine can't ever join NATO because Ukraine touches our border, and we're scared of NATO." And we're like, "No, that's stupid. If a country wants to democratically decide to join NATO, they can join NATO. You can't dictate what another country does." And that made Putin really upsetty spaghetti. So he moved over 100,000 Russian troops to the Ukraine border.
I see Putin was not a part of Model United Nations.
He was not.
No, the key word is
National sovereignty.
There's this prevailing myth that NATO made the USSR promise that we wouldn't expand past like these certain countries, which that's actually not true. Gorbachev said something similar to that, but he later said, "Oh yeah, we never actually talked about NATO expansion." He was just he was just a salty bitch that his like empire was exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like world leaders can be just as like petty pricks as the average person.
What?
Because
What?
they
We
are
as
just
Americans
a
don't
average
realize
person.
that? As if the last 5 years haven't been
Okay,
a petty pissing contest?
half of the country treats the president like they're a fucking god.
Yeah,
Well,
they're retarded.
that's because we've made them out to be a fucking god.
Well, I do,
Yeah.
well, I do that too, as long as it's my God in charge. Like, if Joe Biden told me to like murder any Republican I saw in sight, I would do it. Liberal death
We
squads,
do not
baby.
endorse the murder of
in
Republicans
Minecraft,
on
in
this
Minecraft,
podcast.
in Minecraft, in Minecraft.
Of course.
Of course.
Man, we just love these spicy topics.
And so now,
I'm here for disclaimers, and that's pretty much
disclaimers. Yeah, whoa, the legal department.
No,
I'm the
he's
legal team.
why there's a legal department.
Yeah.
He's disclaiming against everything he says.
Dude. And so it looks like Russia's probably going to attack sometimes in the first few weeks of February. However, people are debating that because they're like, this is a Russia thing. They might just keep the troops there since they're using old bases and stuff, so it wouldn't be that hard to feed them.
My brother sent in the family group chat, he said, well, I love you guys, I might get drafted.
Okay, the U.S. will not send ground forces against Russians in Ukraine.
We definitely won't send drafted forces.
No, we will not. No, that would be so
That'd
unpopular.
be World War III.
That would be
Oops.
that would be that'd be a big oopsie doopsie nuclear Armageddon. Doopy?
Stop trying to develop a catchphrase.
Oh no, it's nuclear
Copyright. Trademark.
Trademark Dave.
Dave.
So right now we're supplying Ukraine with weapons, like anti-tank weapons and anti-aircraft weapons. So it appears that
What if Martin's home gets bombed?
That'd be pretty tragic.
what if what?
Martin's home gets bombed.
I don't think Russia's going to attack Estonia.
No,
They'd have to find Estonia first.
Yeah, it's like
I was gonna say
The most-
Where
Estonia.
is Estonia?
it's like Shangri-La. I don't know if it's real.
That's
yeah,
the
I
point.
don't think it is.
Is that no one thinks it exists,
Wait.
so they think they're always going to be attacked. That's why they have some of the highest spending of all NATO members.
You know, there's a cool thing I looked at. 75% of Finnish people say they would fight for their country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the other European
so many.
all the other European countries are like sub 30
Why are they different?
because they're pussies and Finns are based.
And also, Finland is literally bordering Russia.
And it's a conscription country, so most people serve anyway.
Most conscription countries, though, are kind of a joke. Not
Yeah.
like their
What's-
policies are a joke, but like the service that they do is kind of like
Wait, what's
clerical.
Conscription, like
What is it defined?
it's like they have mandatory military
So,
service.
like in
for
Korea
men.
and Switzerland, you have to serve 4 years.
Yeah.
Immediately after high school or immediately after college. You can choose whichever one. There are exceptions, of course, for different peoples. But
If
for
you
the
have a
most part,
disability,
everyone does it.
Interesting.
Every man does it. The only country that has conscription for women is Israel,
Babes!
which is the only country where if you are conscripted, you're doing something.
Yeah, you will be, shooting
You'll
a
be-
Palestinian child at point blank range at some point during your tour of duty.
Based.
Do you have
In
18
Minecraft.
plus rating on this?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Do you have the Minecraft tag on
Yeah,
this?
there's the
Okay.
Minecraft
Oh,
tag.
Jesus.
Oof. This is all taking
That
place
scared
in
me.
Minecraft.
Yes, this is all taking
Disclaimer:
place in Minecraft.
all models are 18.
even if stated
if
otherwise. Well, the thing about Ukraine is that everyone forgets. 14 years ago in Georgia, you guys know where Georgia is?
Yeah.
Yes, right next
It's
to
right.
Alabama.
Yeah. You remember when Russian forces were in Atlanta? No, it's the exact thing that happened in 2008. Is
Yes.
that Georgia was trying to join NATO. We said nothing, and the Russians just kind of invaded because they were native Russians.
Well, what's the Georgian state status now?
It's still a state.
It's still a
State,
state, but
but, like-
Abkhazia and South Ossetia are essentially Russian puppets.
It's a puppet state.
We'll be right back.
After this train. If you dilute that, it's not too bad.
It's still bad.
It's still bad.
Okay, we're back. It's far enough away. Yeah, so Ukraine might have the technological edge right now because the Russian military is still using like fucking AKs.
Russia's got nukes.
Yeah, but Russia's not going to fucking nuke Ukraine. That would be World War III, which would end in about 2 hours after every
I feel
major
like
city.
we've been talking about World War III for a long time, and it should just happen.
We would talk. No, it should not just happen. No, Albert Einstein has a really good
Guys, can we
quote.
just agree to not use nukes? I really want another war.
Dude, dude, the ultimate gentleman's
That is-
agreement.
I was
That's
about
some
to
Dune
say-
shit. It's
That
like
is the ultimate male fantasy:
Let's
is
see.
dying in a foreign country with all
Not
of
to
your
a
friends
nuke.
around you.
but not to a nuke. It's like I
Damn.
want to have all the advanced technology.
It's like Icky Cookie, but the guy,
Like if we all get
the last guy to die has to survive all his friends.
like if we all get sick like mech suits.
We don't have mech suits yet, so I don't think anyone's getting a mech suit.
That's what they want you to
You
think.
just want to drive a Gundam.
Yes, I do want to.
Yeah,
$1
if
Gundam.
we had Gundams, I'd go to war.
Dodo Coon.
But instead we have Dave walking into the bathrooms with people in
And
there.
Emma was in there. Oopsie doopsie.
No, just
I like how we all saw that. We're all pretty sure that Emma was in there and didn't say anything about it.
I wasn't
What?
sure if she was in there. I thought she may have gone upstairs.
I'm putting water in this.
Yeah. Do you want to get some more ice going?
Dude, fuck
Yeah.
you guys. None of you were like, hey, wait, don't
Can we
open
get
it.
some more
I thought
ice
she went
going?
upstairs.
Here's some more ice.
Wait, which house
Pink.
Yeah, but still. So, like, Russia has more aircraft and more tanks than Ukraine, but their aircraft and tanks are susceptible to, like, the anti-tank and aircraft stuff we're giving the Ukrainians.
Yeah. And as we've proven many times with the U.S. military, it doesn't really matter how much of anything you have, as long as something's more technologically advanced,
Yes.
you're probably fine.
I mean, look at the fucking 80... Was it... Oh, shit. Was it 80s with the when we armed the Mujahideen?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they fucking just kicked the Soviet Union's ass.
Yeah.
The Stinger anti-helicopter missiles, they couldn't...
Yeah. It's just more technological. We even teach them how to use it.
Yeah, we were like,
Just gave it to 'em.
this end towards...
And we successfully we completed the mission. They now run the government in Afghanistan.
Yeah, mission
Thanks.
accomplished.
Mission accomplished, boys and girls.
G.I. Joe theme plays. They say Russia might be able to reach Kiev if they do like a super fast offensive, but I don't know.
I'm telling you, they can have Kiev as long as Poland gets Lviv back. It's ours. I'm fine.
I don't think Poland will get it back.
Nah, they did sign. There was some treaty that was like the UK Poland Ukrainian treaty. I don't remember the name of it. Is of if one is attacked, i.e. Ukraine, then they'll all go in.
They won't.
Remember last time when an Eastern European country got invaded and the UK came to their help? I don't.
That was World War One. Wait, well, yeah.
Last time?
Yeah.
No.
Wait,
It would have been World War II.
no, World War Two. Like, oh yeah, fuck,
Yeah,
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
the
See, when I
Technically.
Technically, World War One and World War Two.
Yugoslav wars were the
Technically,
Like, the Second World War actually
Vietnam
started-
was owned by France,
Oh, you are right.
Right.
You are correct.
but it was invaded by China. China
I
was,
said in Eastern Europe.
in
Vietnam, believe it or not,
is in Eastern Europe.
Is in Eastern Europe, kids. So is Thailand.
listen, we're drinking shitty
Oh, so-
more whiskey.
Okay, so
Product of Ireland.
Vladimir Putin is the current president of Russia, and he's been president since like 2000.
Long time.
Yes.
God Emperor Putin. Yes.
Do you know anything about the president of Ukraine? He was elected last year, I think. Okay, I want to tell. He was elected. He was previously an actor who played the president on a Ukrainian TV show.
A comedy
And a
TV
show.
show, might I add.
Yeah,
No.
that'd be like if we elected Alec Baldwin to replace Trump.
I mean, we
Yeah.
have Donald Trump.
Okay, but fair
Yeah,
point.
name a movie that he's in that's not Home Alone 2.
You really cut
Okay.
You can't.
Did you really cut him out of like the re-release version?
Come on, Coach.
Yeah,
get-
they edited out his scene.
I mean, I guess that's fair because
Cancelled.
back in the olden days, like before he was president, you see Trump, you think of the business magnate from New York, so
Yeah.
it's funny. But now it doesn't make sense if you
Why the future president of the United
is
States.
You think of him like all the presidents have been politician or military people, so it's like why is what's his name Kevin hanging out
Kevin.
with the God Emperor of mankind?
You know
in the United
the
States.
guy that played Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin.
Culkin. You know he recently.
Culkin.
You know he recently had a baby with the actress that played London.
Brenda Song.
Yeah.
That played who?
Yeah.
London
London
from Sweet.
Tipton.
Yeah, from Sweet
London
Life.
Tipton.
Yeah.
The Asian from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like he got clean off heroin. He's like doing good now.
He's got a baby.
Yeah,
With London Tipton.
dude, like what?
Dude, that's our
I-
childhood dream.
Dude, she had a show with Kat Dennings.
Oh really? Yeah.
It was actually really good. And he shows up in there as another girl's potential boyfriend, and their interactions are hilarious. But they're like, "Why are you such a creepy dude? Huh? Why were you parked outside this like basically Chuck E. Cheese's the night this girl was murdered. He's like, no, there was no reason for that. I was just there. It's like, no, there had to be a reason. He's like, okay. You know, there's certain urges that people can't control when they're around, you know, animatronics.
Wait, what?
It's like making it sound like he's a pedophile, but it's like, I really just want to fuck animatronics.
Oh my.
Oh, I thought you
That's
just wanted to go in the play
We
pit.
just shut the
No.
door.
I didn't do it justice. It's actually a very good show. I can't remember what it's called.
So it gets your 5 Irish whiskeys out of 10.
No, it gets 0 Irish whiskeys out of 10. I would rather be drinking, what's the, Jameson?
Yeah.
Jameson's actually really good
Yeah.
in terms of, like...
I got fucking water under my phone screen. Now it's like fucking up how I type. So annoying.
How'd you get water under your phone?
Because there's like a hole for the speaker. And it kind of like,
This podcast is all over the place.
it's great.
Yeah, this podcast is very
So
uncentralized.
Do you guys have you guys heard about the anti-work movement on Reddit?
Of course we have.
Oh yeah,
No.
Oh.
I watched that interview like an hour before I got here.
I
Again, for like the
I
8th time.
The gold mine.
I have that interview burned into my brain.
The cringe review.
I'm going to
I've
just.
seen it on TikTok, but I haven't seen it on Reddit.
It was pretty bad. So the anti-work subreddit grew, like, exploded to like over
1.6
million
or
subs
something.
in less than like 6 months,
Mhm.
which is a huge amount of people for Reddit. Anti-work, for a sub to grow that quickly, anti-work started out as a
Joke.
eco-anarchist subreddit
Actually.
of people that thought I
Working
don't
is actually bad. We
I don't
should not
need to
work at
work.
all.
I should lay around and be lazy, and society will carry on.
Base.
But then
Sounds like my ex-boyfriend.
wait, my ex-boyfriend.
Story time with Raven.
Story
Go
time.
on.
Story time.
No,
Put this boy on blast.
no, not doing that.
Drop the name.
Dude, what's his
Dox
IP
this guy.
address? Where is he at right now?
Anyway, David O'Coon.
Okay, so the subreddit grew from outside. Eventually, more people joined the subreddit because they were fed up of working the working conditions under the pandemic, and how they're being exploited by their bosses, exploited by the government. Like for example, there's a group of hospital workers that were literally sued by the hospital they were working at to stop them from going to a different hospital to work where the conditions and pay were better, which is fucked up. And so,
I mean, not sue for money. They just couldn't leave the hospital.
yeah, they
couldn't start their new jobs. Then they
Yeah.
had to show up for work under state mandate. And then the state was like, no, that's stupid.
yeah, I'm happy they reversed that, but still, it's so fucked up.
Of course they would. It's fucking stupid.
Like no one should be able to control when you can leave a job.
Yeah.
That's basically like forced labor. Then even if you are getting paid.
I agree.
if Poe can leave on his own...
If you sign a contract.
Okay, that's
If
different.
you sign a contract, if you put your name on that piece of motherfucking
Yes, the
paper,
Pope can technically leave.
The Pope can leave.
There is precedent. One precedent.
Is that Benedict, right?
Actually, 4, I think. I think 4
Four
popes.
retired?
4?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
But they were
Benedict was
old,
the first.
old
Because
ones.
Benedict was like, there's a sex scandal that's about to explode, and I am leaving the papacy,
Mm-hmm.
which is a topic for a different time,
Actually, yeah.
where
I
we
want to talk about that.
where we alienate
Gays in the papacy.
every Catholic.
Are you Catholic?
She is.
Ah!
Ayla thought you were an atheist, and I was like, no. A girl at work was like, yeah, I just think that Zach doesn't believe in God. I was like, you're very, very wrong, bitch. She's like, what? He's just so, I'm like, no, really, I don't. He's almost extremely Catholic.
God is real.
God Israel.
Israel?
God.
Israel!
Here's how, hold on.
God's in Israel!
To put it in perspective, here's how Catholic Zach is. Zach doesn't consider himself Catholic because he wasn't baptized.
I was not baptized, so I cannot be Catholic.
I just-
Here's a fun
baptized.
fact.
Yeah, why aren't
Can
you
I-
baptized?
wait, dude, I'm an ordained minister. Can I baptize you now?
No,
No.
not into the Catholic Church. It has to be ordained Catholic.
I can pay
at
for that.
Birth. Damn it, I forgot y'all.
You can
Catholics.
still do it. Can't you?
It's
What if you
yeah, I
become a
could
cor-
do
not
it
the
down
same.
here.
It's not
There are
the same.
different Catholic practices down here. I'm originally from Chicago, kids. If you can't tell by the voice, but it was just weird.
Huh.
So
Huh.
yeah, and it's just different.
You're looked
What
down
you wanna
on
think
if
of.
you convert later in life.
A lot of people do it later.
Yeah, in the South.
Okay, we have
where Catholics do not have presidents.
Okay, we have hit.
You know who does? The Baptists.
Okay, we have hit like a massive tangent. I want to get back to anti-work.
Oh yeah. Let's.
Okay, so
we're obviously interested.
So anti-work.
Get dunked upon, David O'Connor.
Anger, genuine.
Conversation's natural. It moves. It flows.
So back to anti-work. So subreddit ballooned to 1.6 million people, mostly disgruntled, working class people, going like, we deserve better working conditions, we deserve a higher minimum wage that keeps up with inflation, basic, reasonable things. And because it got so big, it started getting media attention. And Fox News, along with many other media outlets, requested to interview a representative of the subreddit. It's almost impossible to find a representative for 1.6 million people. Most of the subreddit was very against doing interviews. Like, we should not do an interview. It's a bad idea. We should just let the sub grow and blah, blah, and just build up a movement from the roots. But one of the mods took it upon themselves, mod being moderator, took it upon themselves to talk to the interview because they claimed they had media training.
What does media training mean?
I don't know what they thought it means.
I have media training.
What was the Reddit handle too? It was something.
It was abolish work.
Yeah,
it was
work.
user abolish work. Okay, I'm gonna put it up for the audience to see, and we can listen to it too. 1 second.
Do those people have jobs?
No.
I will tell you in a second.
Well, technically
you'll
do.
You'll learn. Yeah.
Because being a Reddit moderator is a full-time job.
It is not a job. It is not a job. All
it's
right.
a full-time commitment.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and play it right now. I think I just type in Reddit anti-work.
I mean, can you imagine how hard it is to moderate r/trap anti?
you have an FBI phone just next to you.
Some of these things I hope don't pick up on the microphone, but if they do, I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead.
He's even in here.
We're gonna go ahead. Mountain is in here. We're gonna go ahead and play this.
Base brother.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and play this.
1.6 million subscribers. Joining me now is the person who operates this anti-work group, Doreen Ford. All right, so Doreen, why do you like the idea of being home, not working, but still getting paid by corporate America?
Yeah, so there's some misconceptions about the movement. So we're a movement where we want to reduce the amount of work that people feel like they're forced to do. And so we want to still put in effort, we want to put in labor, but we don't want to necessarily be in a position where we feel trapped. You just quoted from Office Space where that person feels very trapped in their job. I think we're calling for a society where there's less of that. But yeah, absolutely, people still want to do things. They just want to do things where they feel rewarded and they feel like they're in a good spot in their life, and that their job respects them and stuff like that. There's varying.
So Doreen, but you're not being forced to work. This isn't slave labor. You've applied for a job. You've agreed to the terms and conditions of the employment. And, you can walk away from that job at any time and quit. So I don't understand really what this is about, except it sounds like maybe people are just being lazy. Are you encouraging people to be lazy?
Wait for it.
So I think laziness is a virtue in a society where people constantly want you to be productive 24/7. And it's good to have rest. That doesn't mean you should be resting all the time or not putting effort into things that you care about. But I think one of the
what do you think is like a good work day? How many hours is a solid work day in your ideal society?
This guy is fucking.
He's so happy.
Sure. I mean, I think as much as people want. I mean, I personally work. I have like a 25 hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good. So I would like less work hours.
And what do you do, Doreen?
I'm a dog walker.
A dog walker. Okay.
Yes.
And how?
So
how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure, I'm 30.
You're 30. Okay. And is there something you want to do besides being a dog walker? Do you aspire to do anything more than dog walking, or is that kind of your pinnacle?
I love working with dogs. If I had to do this for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be super complaining. Dogs are wonderful animals. But I would love to teach. I would love to. Work with people and stuff like that.
What would you teach, Doreen?
Philosophy mostly, just introduction to philosophy, critical thinking, reason, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I would love to take your class, Doreen. I would just be taking notes the whole time. And you know what? A professor's a very similar schedule than something that you're imagining. So I think that actually might work perfectly for you. Listen, I think this might not be the greatest idea, but who am I to judge? To each their own, they say. It's a free country.
Sure.
Not everything's free, but it is a free country. Thank you so much.
Sure.
We got to run. We got to pay the bills.
Dude, we gotta pay the.
That was like the meme. It's like Giga Chad Fox News. No, okay, wait. Let me go back. Let me go back to the cast.
No supporter of Fox News here, but that guy.
Was hot.
Emma, keep it in your pants.
But
his eyes were piercing, and I did feel them in my soul.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so
the
that
guy's ability to hold it in and not fucking lose.
Okay. So that interviewer, he was ready to like go guns blazing, but then he saw Doreen on the screen, and he was like,
"I struck gold."
No, he was like, she did it for him. Like, Raven, what do you want to say? I'm sorry.
Okay. I understand both sides.
I'm just not wanting to work.
Yes. Okay. Because. Okay, maybe I don't understand both sides. However, like I can see how like working 40 hours a week, people feel quote unquote trapped.
That's okay. That's valid.
Yeah, but the whole idea that you shouldn't contribute to society, that's where things get like...
Well, that's not what they're saying exactly.
No, I understand what they're saying, but that man's that we just
wait, wait.
She's saying, yeah.
She, this person identifies as a woman.
Oops. She.
Yes. They do not... She... I think they is fine. I think it's not.
She's a she.
She does not represent... the whole subreddit at all. No, like that subreddit's mostly blue collar working.
They also have sexual assault cases against them.
Yes. The day after this interview aired, the minutes after this interview aired, the subreddit was losing hundreds of thousands of members. It went down to just a little bit under 1 million in under a day. More stuff came out about Doreen or her Reddit handle. And they admitted to sexually assaulting their partner multiple times, which I don't want to read on stream because it's so vile, but it's pretty bad. So then the moderators, the mod team, locked the subreddit and made it go private. And then they came back, and I have the statement on my phone, but I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a long list of bullshit. I believe the most important takeaway is, let's see where it is. Yeah. The most important takeaway was they did not listen to the message at all. They basically announced we have a new head mod, user Yuza or something. And they introduced themselves in the new mod post. So sorry, they did a big mod post. So when you enter the subreddit, it's the first thing you would see. And the new mod post said, "Hey, so we restructured the mod team. We have a new mod, Yuza. They're going to introduce themselves." And they typed their own blurb, which was filled with typos and misspellings. And they said they're a 21-year-old long-term unemployed person who lives with their parents. And they're like, "I would be the new leader sub." And they said they'd already conducted interviews with The Guardian and BBC. And they were trying to reach out to CNN for another interview. So the subreddit naturally lost their shit again. Like, no, you are a moderator. You are a janitor of a subreddit. You do not lead this movement. You don't speak for the movement.
Yeah.
You're 21 years old and unemployed. And these are people that, a lot of these people are like truck drivers or like people that worked in Walmart or retail that put in nurses that put in 80-hour weeks. And the gall that someone who is 21 years old and unemployed has never had a job ever. Thought they could lead this movement. And so then in less than a day they left. They deleted their account because of the criticism they got, and they left. In their last message they posted something, "I don't care about democracy and I will focus more on like real world activism," which means doing nothing, continuing to be a NEET. And then it turns out Kamayuza, this new moderator, was a massive incel and had previously commented on how they could only date 2D women and how Western women had become such sluts because of modernity and capitalism.
Oh, God.
And so now the...
Sucks that he's right, though.
No! And so now the subreddit is still in shambles. The movement has been destroyed because people...
This is a messy mess.
It is.
Yeah.
There's a couple funny things. I was reading a Forbes article earlier. believe it or not. And there's a couple things that got me. Is that one, Miss Doreen.
Yes.
Couldn't do math.
What?
And she couldn't figure out that 5 times 2 is 10 because she works 2 hours a week, 5 times a day. She only works 10 hours a week.
I want to mention that. They said they lied and they only worked 10 hours a week.
Which is insane. But the other person, you said they were trying to get interviews with like CNN and stuff.
Yeah.
What I read is that that person, I think it's a he, had already recorded 3 interviews with places.
Yeah.
And so there's 3 places that are just sitting on these interviews, like waiting to release them.
This guy is going to be one cringy motherfucker on...
yeah.
I remember
They're sitting on gold.
Yeah.
Like the mod team, when they posted the new statement, they talked about Doreen a bit. Like they prepared for an hour before the interview and did things like taking a shower. I'm like, and I was like, are you saying that taking a shower is something you only do for special occasions, like an interview? Like
they're a Reddit moderator.
They were like the way she was just rocking back and forth, like and couldn't look at the fucking guy on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I think that's the biggest
I mean,
thing.
they have autism, but like
Right.
I do as well.
But I think Fox would have got the same message out if Doreen didn't really say anything, because they say they're talking about she's a member of the anti-work. They describe what the subreddit is. It goes to the video and she's pretty unkempt.
Yes,
she's fidgety, and then it zooms out. The bed is unmade.
Yes,
there's like shit all over the place, right? So it gives off the image that automatically anyone part of this is just lazy. They don't want to do anything.
Unfair.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Because, like, you guys are still in school, so you might not have had a situation like this. But with my massive amounts of debt, I was working a very hard job for a long time. And I felt trapped for a long time because I had applied for, like, how many was I applying to a week? Like 10 places a week for months after I graduated. Like 8 months after I graduated, I applied to like 10 places a week. Never heard anything back. Finally got a job. Hated it. Was there for over a year. And I was like, my God, I'm going to fucking die here. Like I would call him in China. And I was like, dude, I don't know if I can fucking do it. I would have to call him so I could even make it back home. And then I finally got the job that I'm at now. And things are starting to look up. But definitely that feeling of being trapped is a real problem in America right now because there's so many infrastructure loopholes in place where people can just slip through the cracks and the system doesn't operate like it's supposed to. I believe in the system. I believe you should work. I believe 40-hour weeks are fine, and that if you have a good work-life balance and you work the hours that you're meant to work, you can have a very happy and fulfilling life. But definitely, especially those more than 40-hour weeks. Those are kind of traps.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely agree that like contributing something for society and to better yourself is good. So not like the total anti-work thing, but there's I was a major in international relations, and we looked at this stuff a lot across countries. That across all developed Western countries since the 70s. That wages have gone up as productivity has gone up and efficiency has gone up. Neither of which is true in the U.S. Like, we have the same pretty much level, like the minimum wage is pretty much the same adjusted for inflation as it was, 50 years ago. Yeah. And our efficiency has gone down so much that, like, I think it's Norway is the top. They average maybe 33 or 34 hours a week. Yeah. Each, but if you count for the amount of money that they earn for the country compared to ours, it's like 20% higher than us. So they work less than us and are more efficient.
Why are we less efficient?
Well, I want to give my opinion. This is like, I just want to say, like, if you aren't making good money at your job, I feel like you're not going to really try hard. I don't. Like, if I get paid shit, I will do whatever I can to do the least amount of work possible. I don't give a fuck about the company or what, like... Yeah, but if I was getting paid, like, if I was still in my restaurant job at the place I used to work at, and they were paying me, like, a decent, like, a livable wage, I would totally try. If I was making, like, was it $17 an hour?
Yeah.
That's what we should be having, like, to keep up.
Nationally.
It's nationally 17, but yeah, if they're paying me $17 an hour, I would, like, definitely be cleaning those tables way harder.
To point out, $17 an hour is what I started as a chemist with 2 years of experience in food safety.
And a degree, by the way, in biochemistry.
And molecular biology. Not a flex.
That is so insane.
And I just got a raise by $1, and that's 4% thereabouts above the inflation rate of last year. So I didn't get a dollar raise. I got
20 cents.
Yeah, I got 20-cent raise when adjusted for inflation.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a problem. There's a problem. I see that.
And like, not just that, but people on disability just got their first raise since like the 60s.
Wow.
In living expenses, and it was 4%. I think it was 4%. It might have been 5%. Either way, 4 or 5 is less than the estimated inflation rate of last year, which was 6.2%, a high that has never been recorded before.
Yeah, the inflation was insane.
The estimate every year before this for the last like fucking 150 years of going through this in regular country is 2%.
Yeah, that's the standard. Yeah. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Yeah. Everybody used to say if you're not making at least 2% raise every year, you're losing money because your money is actually worth less.
Yes.
So you actually get a demotion every year that you don't get a raise because that's just how the money works.
So ask your boss for a raise.
Absolutely. The worst I can say is no.
Yeah.
Like, I asked my boss for a raise, and I was like, well, they gave me the raise. I said, that's not enough. They said, what do you mean? I was like, well, this is what I deserve. So, well, we're thinking about it. I'm like, well.
Then you pulled, like, the inflation over time chart, and you're like, you're actually paying me.
No, I didn't do that. I just said, this is what I feel like I'm worth.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can think of that as you will, but this is what I need. And so they're delivering on it right now, and I'm also looking for other jobs.
Yeah, dude.
Good.
Yeah. Know your worth.
The
No.
only way you get what you want is if you ask for it. You shouldn't be afraid to ask for something you're worth.
And a lot of things in America are based in this old mysticism of, like, the company man.
Yeah, very
sacrificing
true.
your family for the company.
Yeah.
Because your family will benefit from it. But a lot of our generation, even the generations above us, are finally starting to realize that loyalty to a company and putting the company above your own needs only ever hurts you.
Yes.
Like, we both know that our company makes a lot of money.
Like the whole thing, selling your soul to the company store. Like, that is
Yeah.
the thing.
Well, there's
That's so true.
Well, there's like my favorite quote. No one ever no one ever says, "Boy, I sure do wish I spent more time working on their deathbed."
No, they're like, I wish I would have spent more
I
time
wish I
with
spent
my
family.
Your real life is with your family.
Yeah,
But
and the
also,
people you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of the problems, like one of the reasons that not Americans, but the U.S. economy is less efficient. Because if you go to places like Europe, they want you to keep in the same company, the same career, and so they'll give you benefits as you come.
Yeah.
They'll try and make it your family. You know what I mean? So it's I know it's a weird concept.
Cringe.
It's not like the company man. It's more like the family man.
Yeah.
I'm just happy I don't live in Japan. It's even worse there than it is here in regards to like selling your soul to the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, you spend like 15 hours a day away from your house.
It is one.
I told you the statistic. On average, Japanese dads spend 20 minutes a day with their children.
Yeah.
Just breakfast.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
we got a new subscriber. Thank you.
Yay!
Hey, what's the name?
My Jolie Cam.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
You're swell. You're cool.
You're cool. That was really loud. Yeah, like there's this popular archetype of the Japanese salaryman that has a heart attack at work and dies, which just seems like it's like the samurai bushido culture carried on like this capitalist hellscape that is Japan now, and So now it's like socially shameful if you don't like work your ass off.
Because when the samurais no longer had anything to do when they entered their peaceful period, they started becoming infrastructure workers.
They're like, I am now
they
the
were already
boss.
nobles.
Yeah,
they were already noblemen. They were.
You
But now it's
listen to me.
Yeah, now it's like that. Is that the samurai were always removed from everyone because they were the military.
Yeah,
people.
they're aristocratic military people. Yeah.
Right now, the heads of company, they have direct influence on everyone below them. They can say, "Hey, do this,"
and they have some whack ass practices.
Yeah.
Like you can't compliment your boss.
What?
Yeah.
Like if you like your boss's tie, it's like, hey boss, I really like that tie. Where did you get it? That's considered an insult because not only are you saying that your opinion matters to them, you're also asking where they got it. You're like, how can I be like you? How can I take your position?
Oh my god.
How can I elevate myself
Yeah,
above you?
everything's like control and power.
It's a super hierarchical society.
It's
like even
super beta.
even their language has hierarchies. Like if you speak to a superior, like you would speak to like someone on your level, like a friend, that's insulting. It's even more insulting if you speak to them like an inferior. Like there's like different vocabulary used, like or different ways to address
also,
people.
Eastern languages have a formal and an informal dialect.
Yes. And then the rude dialect that you use for people beneath you. I can't wait till I'm a big. I can't. I can't.
How you speak to animals.
Yes. You know, Japanese says katakana, which it's an alphabet that's now for English words and sounds. It used to be the alphabet that women would use specifically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sexism for the win.
Now there's Romanji, which is base.
Which is even worse because it's just
so
using
bad.
Latin letters.
This
is now a language podcast.
Yeah,
we're talking about Japanese.
We're all geniuses. That's why. Like we can't.
I know nothing about Japanese, so.
Do you remember that?
No, like we can't have two podcasts where we talk mainly about Japan.
Yeah, we gotta stop. I'm too obsessed. Dude, okay, so
no weeps here. No weeps allowed. That's the name of the podcast. No weeps allowed.
No weeps allowed. Yeah, you ever? Isn't it kind of like weird that I don't know, like incels will lust after Japanese women specifically so often?
Yeah, because they're subservient.
No, they are not.
Which is not true.
They are. I think the term is it dragon mommy or tiger mommy?
Tiger mom.
Tiger mom. You
typically associated with Chinese people,
Yeah,
but also they're people.
They're people.
Humans are in themselves unique.
Yes.
Even if they do conform to stereotypes at times.
Well, stereotypes are based off of like a group of people, like enough people doing something. It's like people over exaggerate to a stereotype. Like apparently to like non-Western people, like white people smell like cheese.
Interesting.
To East Asians. Yep.
When he was 4, all the time.
Did he just eat a lot of cheese?
Wow.
That'll do it.
I really did not like him when he was 4 because he smelled like cheese.
You're like, cheese.
This is my science fun fact. I know why that is.
Because you are what you eat?
Yeah, but no. There's like 2 different kinds of sweat glands.
Oh.
One of which is more efficient but smells like cheese. One of which is not as efficient and doesn't. A lot of East Asians don't have the one that smells like cheese.
Oh.
And then Europeans are in the middle. Africans are usually higher on that end due to, it being a hotter climate.
I see.
How do you know this?
Because I spent 2 years in China and everyone complained about how white people smell. So I said, I gotta defend myself somehow.
You have to defend the white race.
Indeed, I do. Against the Chinese.
Oh yeah, did y'all see that shit's happened like in Florida and Canada?
I know about the only thing in Canada I know was the trucks.
Yeah, and in Florida there was like a neo-Nazi rally in Orlando, and people were like this assaulted this one Jewish guy who was not a Jew, just a white man with a big nose. They were like hurling racial epithets at him. And waving, like, the fact that we have people that can wave Nazi flags around openly in America is really fucking disgusting.
Fun fact, there's a strong correlation between nose size and penis size.
Damn it, I hate that I have a small nose.
Now remember, kids, correlation does not equal causation.
I don't know how you know that. How do you know that?
I watched a Zay Frank video today about the...
I mean, like, compared to your face, I mean, your nose...
Monkeys that have big floppy dick noses.
Oh yeah, those dick monkeys.
If you haven't watched that video, it's very good.
Oh, dude, imagine if humans
Shout
had...
out to that
Zoe Frank.
Zoe Frank.
Zoe Frank.
Yeah, we're trying to help out a small YouTubers.
Yeah, small YouTube. Shout out.
You know, a couple million subscribers.
Do you
one subscriber.
Okay.
Do you guys know the mandrill monkeys? Like the ones with the really colorful faces.
Yeah, I hate those. They freak me the fuck out.
Those are mandrill baboon. No, they're called.
I thought those were two different things.
They're two different things.
Are they?
No, they
Well,
are.
as
They're totally
VeggieTales is
Oh, those are
taught
two
to, it
names
does
for-
have a
That's
tail.
VeggieTales.
It's not a monkey,
States.
even if it has a monkey
No,
kind of shape.
because a mandrill's an ape and a baboon is a monkey.
Well,
Because baboon
again,
yeah,
if it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey.
No,
If it's
man-
got a monkey kind of shape.
Yeah, no,
If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. If it
Well,
doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey.
Stop!
It's an
Shut
ape.
up!
Did you not watch VeggieTales?
Yeah, so like when a mandrill becomes dominant, that's when it grows in the colorful parts of its face.
I hate that.
And I'm like, what if humans did the same thing?
Ew, shut up.
Yeah.
I hate that.
That's
I
why
hate
I
thinking
blush
about that.
more.
like,
I don't even know what that
like,
means.
do you think orangutans are jealous of like the other orangutan skin flaps? Like the
Ugh,
the flaps.
the flappers.
No.
I hate monkeys. I hate apes. I hate them all.
Why?
Wow,
You're-
I
you're
hate
lit- you're
them.
literal- you're
Ow,
actually-
They're so
freak me
gross.
out.
You're
We're
literally
apes.
an ape though.
We're
No,
literally
no,
one of the 5 great
but-
apes.
I mean,
You're
sometimes
not.
humans freak me
Science.
out. If I think about it too long, I'm like, I don't want anyone to ever touch me. Like, that freaks me out.
Wait,
Yeah.
if you think about humans too long,
Yeah,
But you're a
Human.
human.
I know.
do you think you're more than human?
No.
Oh god. Oh, so do you remember the Predator movie that came out like 2 years ago?
What?
There's a movie called The Predator. I thought it was about Jeffrey Epstein at first, but I was wrong. It was the Alien movie.
No, that's Aliens.
Oh yeah, I remember it was Aliens versus Predator. It was like Michael Jackson versus Jared Fogle was the
Subway guy.
Oh yeah, so Jared Fogle was in prison now.
As he should be.
And
As he ought to
he's
be.
still quite wealthy, and so he has like a gang of guards that protect him from being assaulted. Many of them are also other pedophiles, so he has like the pedophile royal guard in the federal prison.
That's disgusting.
Well, he's only going to be in there for like 5 years because
He'll
should
be
be
there
in there
for the
more.
rest of his life.
Dude, have you ever played the
kill.
South Park game where you have to go to prison and beat him up because he tries to fucking get butters or something?
that's awesome. So
South Park games are golden.
what I want to say, so this Predator movie came out, it's dog shit. The worst point it made was like, so the main character's kid's
Is that the
autistic.
one where they go to the Predator homeworld?
No, that is Predators.
Predator.
Okay.
Deserves.
Wait, with an S?
Yeah, so
Is it the guy?
Plural.
Wait,
Oh,
hold
no,
on. Is
we're
that the
talking-
one
no.
where the guy's in the field with the katana?
yeah, that's the that's the best one. It was sick.
That's pretty fucking.
Okay, so
metal,
yeah, so
I will
there
say.
there is Predator 1 starring Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting in like
Yeah.
not Vietnam but South America, even though it's basically Vietnam.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Then there's Predator 2 starring Danny Glover, which is just Danny Glover playing a LA cop who's too old for this shit, trying to kill an alien predator.
In an urban environment.
Urban environment, which is actually it's one of it's my comfort movie. I will.
My comfort.
Danny Glover.
I've made so many girls watch that after a date with me. I'm like, dude, let's watch Predator 2. They're like, okay.
It works.
And do they like it?
Yeah, no. One time I literally like made a girl wait before we did anything because I wanted to finish Predator 2.
Your mom is listening to the podcast.
That's why I'm being vague. Anyway, and then
Shout out to Mom.
Hey,
Thanks,
Mom.
Mom.
We love you, Mom.
Yes.
And then there's Predators, which is like the one with like the multiple people trapped like this predator planet with the big. They're called they're like large predators that are just black. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And so,
You got dreadlocks.
and then there's the Predator. They're Jamaican. And then there's the Predator, which is the newest one. Okay, and then so there's also the Alien movies. There's Aliens 1, 2, and 3. Then there's Aliens Requiem. Sorry, Aliens 4. Relevate. Anyway, then there's Aliens versus Predator 1. And then Alien versus Predator 2 Requiem.
Was the second one?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
good.
yeah.
No, Aliens versus Predator 1 is sick.
And there's technically that other movie is like Prometheus or something.
That's a prequel.
Which
Then
is
there's
part of the same
then there's
universe.
Prometheus and there's Aliens Covenant. Both
Oh,
did so poorly they
Christ.
did not do the planned trilogy because it was really weirdly,
Bad.
really weirdly done.
What the fuck did we start this? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the Predator.
The Predator.
So the Predator movie. The movie, it's the point, like the Predators are evolving basically by putting DNA of other aliens into themselves to get stronger and take their attributes to become better hunters.
Oh yes.
And so-
that's how evolution works.
and so-
I take the DNA of something I kill
If it didn't have
Yeah.
that, it would
To
be
and become
Yeah.
stronger.
And so the main point of this movie is the main character's son has autism, and the Predator's trying to get to the son and take his DNA because autism is the next step in human evolution, and so the Predator's trying to become autistic.
why y'all would like this movie.
No, it's horrible.
So the predators don't want to be able to talk to women?
No.
Are we the Ubermensch?
and that's it. Kind of. And also, so like for the Doreen lady for the subreddit, she has autism. She's confirmed to have autism, and so people are saying, like criticizing her as ableism. Like, no, it's not. If you do not have the capabilities to do an interview, don't do the interview.
Yeah, I
that
think
is a reasonable thing to say.
Her insistence on doing the interview, despite what I've heard a lot of people telling her,
do not
do it.
Yes.
Yeah. You do not speak for this. You the old guard of the anti-work are insane.
Yeah, they're insane people.
Right. It
kind of harkens back to like how the military won't allow people who are too dumb to be in the military. It's like if you're not capable of doing something, you shouldn't be allowed to do it.
What do you
think? You're a detriment at that point.
Yeah, you're more of a hazard.
Like, I'm not saying they should be like persecuted or discriminated against, but like don't expect someone with a severe disability to do something like, I don't know,
take a life.
I wouldn't trust one in a lab.
Well, so does
for some reason we do.
What do you think, Raven?
Yeah, do you believe in eugenics?
Oof, hard topics.
Actually, let's talk about eugenics.
Should we define eugenics?
No, we're not going to go on. We're not going on the topic of eugenics.
Did you know that in I think Denmark, if a pregnancy is detected if the fetus has Down syndrome, 9 out of 10 cases the mother will choose to abort. Down syndrome is almost non-existent in Denmark now.
And they're
very proud of that.
What's your opinion on that?
The government pays them?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's why they also boast the lowest rate of how would you say it?
Like people with disabilities.
Yeah, something like that.
Something
like that.
That's not something to really boast about.
Yeah.
Should you boast about we take the best care of them in the world?
They also do that though.
I mean, that's good,
which is fair. But there's like 5 of them.
I mean, like
the rest of them are.
Well, no, like people who develop issues later in life.
Yeah, which can happen
because they're a European country with a working healthcare system.
Like if you tried to, for example, if you tried to make yourself stronger by injecting autism into yourself and became disabled, Denmark will.
If it works, it works.
So first of all, the problem with that is we don't know what identifies autism. It's not a DNA thing, so you can't inject it. If we did know what it was, you could totally do that with a plasmid.
That'd be sick.
There's a guy on YouTube.
Could I get double autism?
Well, again, it's not DNA
we don't know
recombinant, so we don't know what is the cause. There's a guy on YouTube. He figured out how to. He made a virus that contained a plasmid, which is it's like an organ inside of a cell. It's just the same layer of barrier that a cell's made of. It's made of. So it's like a bubble. You know how bubbles can merge together and make a bigger bubble? Mm-hmm. That's what a plasmid is. Mm-hmm. It's the smaller bubble. It has the DNA from an E. coli strain that has the ability to produce lactase, which is the chemical enzyme which digests milk. So he's a lactose intolerant person. He developed this virus, this plasmid.
Shit.
Infected himself with it. Infected his natural biome, his natural intestinal biome with this plasmid, and developed the ability to produce lactase.
Ah, that's interesting.
That's really.
He went from having to take like a handful of Lactaid with a meal of like some cheese to no Lactaid, and 2 years out he only has to take like 2.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you imagine being that smart?
Could you imagine being
I can. I understand exactly what he did.
Then why don't you do it?
Then do it.
Because I'm not infecting myself with a virus, jackass.
Give yourself superpowers.
He has a lab. I do not have access to that type of lab.
Can you drink milk?
I get gassy.
There you go.
Well, I have massive lactose tolerance.
Really?
What?
Yeah, I'm
Are
really
you lactose intolerant, Emma?
No.
You just don't like milk.
I just don't, yeah.
Oh, God, how?
But David always buys milk. I like
I don't
milk.
understand people who don't like milk.
I don't like
Have you
milk.
tried
It, like,
almond
Have you
milk?
love
smelled
milk.
it?
In essence,
Okay,
it is
smell
what a
milk.
person should like. It is sweet fat.
No, it's.
I smell it and
smells
it
like
makes me
trash.
want to gag.
It tastes like trash.
Have you sniffed milk? Do we have it?
Oh,
What do you mean, have you sniffed milk? I sniff
In
milk
fairness,
daily.
I don't trust sniffing anything from Dave's fridge.
When does it go bad?
Shout out to Dave's fridge. Disclaimer:
It's
Dave is
probably
not
good.
growing
Smell this
cultures in there.
beautifulness.
Almond milk tastes like nuts, and I don't
It
like
tastes like almonds.
Smell it.
Just smelling it is so bad.
Yeah, it tastes.
Now
Well,
smell
it smells
this
like
one.
cardboard because the thing's made out of cardboard.
Oh god, I forgot what it smelled like.
It's so gross.
This is the Smelling Milk podcast, brought to you by your hosts.
Are you guys
Big
just...
T Tristan.
You guys can't see it right now. The hosts are now all smelling
Does
my
that
milk.
actually smell
Oh, it's fine.
They're
It's fine.
smelling
Smell this
Dave's
in
milk.
comparison.
They're smelling Dave's milk. They're smelling my milk right
Yeah,
now.
it smells like nuts.
All right. The
Smells
milk
so
probably
good, and
smells
that's-
fine. The rim, on the other
It
hand,
smells like bacteria.
smells like
That.
Well, yes.
Yeah, usually you drain a half gallon in a day or two.
I was
In a
gonna say,
day or two.
you put a couple of cultures in there and you make it into yogurt. It's delicious,
I like yogurt somehow.
dude.
I can't explain
It's
that.
protein.
Yeah,
Yogurt
it's
is
just
good, but milk
some
just
bacteria
tastes
eats
so
your
good.
milk and it makes yogurt. It's the same thing,
Yeah,
except
yogurt
for
is
like,
mostly
Smell how
protein.
More
delicious
gross.
that smells. That one's oat. My favorite.
yeah. The thing is that the bacteria doesn't settle on the rim. That's the problem. Is that there's gross shit
There's
on the
not
rim of the
really-
milk
Yeah, it
because
smells like sugar.
someone is not wiping off the rim of his milk jug.
This is how a beverage should smell that I consume.
Okay, so it took me...
Say in the
It took
comments
me...
what you
Okay,
think about milk.
it took me
everyone.
so long to find this. I want to talk about race mixing.
No.
Please don't.
No.
Why not?
Weird stuff.
No.
No, I want to
We
get your...
all agree that that should happen and it is good for everyone.
That's the point. We're all the same opinion. However, a certain
Apparently not.
a certain section of Twitter,
Apparently not.
a certain section of Twitter is not. This was
I want to take a sip, but I'm scared it's gonna burn.
okay. So
It will.
This-
It's gonna be
Put
bad.
some water.
So
put
this
some
image-
water or
this image was
I-
posted
it's gross.
to Black Twitter. Let me just go ahead and do the screen capture. This image was posted to Black Twitter. My husband will be black. It depicts, an angry black couple looking at their son fall in love with a white woman. They have a daughter who is light skinned who falls in love with a white man. Have a child who is white presenting, who has a child who marries a woman who is also white presenting. They didn't have a white presenting daughter. And in this one, so they're pretty angry about this, as you can see. But on this other side,
Why?
this couple's happy because their son is dating a woman of his own race, and so on and so forth. And they have a black child, a black great grandchild. I don't know whether this is like a long generations of family.
Great.
Cinnamon macchiato.
I'm just saying. The top comment of this is racism, but make it woke.
yeah, that's fair.
I think I agree with the top comment. I feel like you shouldn't discriminate against a race. I should.
Yes.
Dude,
Like my hot take is, no matter what your race is, you shouldn't discriminate against race for any reason.
Drink that.
Wait, what do you mean about discriminating?
Put wa-
In that
put water
particular
in, you put
context,
ice.
are you saying you should date people?
Oh no! In this
the
period,
ice isn't melted
in
yet.
this, so
Put
this,
water in.
So bad though.
It's very bad.
it's horrible. Thank you.
Raven does not like the whiskey.
So, in this particular image, the author is saying you should not date outside of your race because it will make your parents unhappy.
What do you think about that?
I think that is ridiculous, and if it had been a white chart, it would have gotten labeled as Nazi propaganda immediately.
Dude.
They're just switching out like Nazis for how's this work?
Panthers.
Yeah, essentially they're switching out Nazis for black people and Jews for white people. Like this is how they're wording it.
Yeah, we'll ignore the Jews, but that is one thing in China. For all of you who don't know, I taught English in China for 2 years. And in China, that would be a common question we'd ask. One of my buddies, Shen, he's half Iranian, half black.
Okay.
We'd be in a speaking corner, and we asked Chinese people, like, yeah, if you brought someone who was not Chinese home, would you be fine? Like, yeah. And as they're doing it, my buddy Shen is on the opposite side of the room, and I'm here. They're looking at me, so they're thinking of bringing a white guy home to their parents and shit.
Yeah.
We go through
Which
that,
would be
and
fine.
everyone would be like, yeah, of course I'd bring someone home. And then one of the two of us would say, now, what if he were from Nigeria?
Oh.
And they would all shut down. Just, I don't think I could do that.
Oh.
So
Their parents?
that's them,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of people, there's like, I'm
parents'
trying to say
perception probably has something to do with it, but I wouldn't say it's 100%.
a lot of people have what is acceptable race mixing in their minds. I've seen a lot, again, going back to the black people Twitter thing. I've seen a lot of women usually who are mad if a black man will date a white woman.
Yeah, I've seen it happen in person, but I'm not going to use anecdotes as if
dating black women dating white men.
Well, I've also seen white people just as mad at black guys dating white women.
Well,
so
more
so.
But there's still that amount of vitriol, no matter what it is. There's like in society, there's an acceptable amount of it, and then people get mad. It doesn't make sense.
What do you guys think?
I don't see this very much or ever. Like, I've heard about it.
Yeah, you hear. Yeah, I don't think it's something most people encounter every day. Raymond, do you have any opinions?
I just think it's weird because
that is valid.
Like, I have this perception of people, like, to me, everyone is just they, them, and they're just people. That's how I think of everyone. Like,
that's a good way to look at the world, honestly.
No, not necessarily.
If you view everyone as people, that's fine. You should view every person as a person.
The whole point of the whole gender identity and pronoun thing is that's how that person identifies, and to consider everyone a they them kind of invalidates.
Yeah, I know.
Their own personality.
And I'm trying to get better.
See, I don't believe in identity.
Identity is good.
We're all controlled by our basic instincts.
What was that pronoun you just said?
We're all controlled by what, Dave?
Our basic instincts.
What was that pronoun you just said?
Oh, sorry, David doesn't believe.
Who's David?
Sorry, Ermac does not believe.
The collection of souls that is Ermac does not believe
in pronouns.
Sorry, Mortal Kombat reference right there.
Sorry, kids.
I do want to say, I just think, I think essentializing race, no matter who does it, is wrong and bad. Like you shouldn't make race like an essential part of someone's identity.
No,
because you don't choose. It's not something you choose.
I think it is.
I mean, like having like. Not that I'm against like black pride or anything, because it's different from like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I know what you mean, Dave. I just want to hear what you say. That's why I'm giving you the funny look. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm saying I'm not against like like.
I'll also say that we're totally unqualified to talk about this, considering we're all white people.
Yeah.
I'm white passing.
No, but no. Okay. Oh, I do not like that argument either, because just because you're white does not make your opinion invalid if you're an expert on the subject. We're not qualified because none of us are expert on race. But no, I'm saying, Emma.
I thought you were about to say you're an expert.
Emma, I'm saying like if you're a white person and you like study like race relations professionally and academically and you become an expert on it, your opinions are valid.
But we do not.
Yes, but in this context, we can neither authoritatively have an opinion or empathetically. We can sympathize, but we can never feel how those people feel.
See, I can
different things.
See, I can authoritatively have an opinion and be totally wrong about it because I don't care. But no, I'm kidding.
Damn right.
It's
just I think it's really weird.
Yeah,
it's something that's really weird for me with when Americans talk about it.
Yeah,
because like a lot of other countries are ethno-states. If you're dating someone who's not, see if you're like. We'll go to Poland, for example. If you're Polish and you're dating someone from Ukraine, that's still weird, and that's the thing. Wow. America doesn't have that necessarily in some places. In the South, it's not a big deal because you're white.
A British person, no one cares.
Right. So in the South, like there's a concept of being white and being not. In Chicago, there's a concept of being the very specific thing you are. Like if I dated a Greek person, that'd be weird.
Oh no.
But it's also, the U.S. is inherently very, it's odd to use the term now, but it really is like segregated.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
If you look at, again, back to Chicago, I'm from a place called Hegwisch, which is about half Polish people, like 40% Mexican immigrants, 10% Greek immigrants, which... Going outside of that, you get Southside, because we're in Southside, which is almost 100% black. And every different neighborhood has almost 100% race outside of Hegwisch, right?
There's a specific road separating what is considered Southside Chicago from his area, Hegwisch.
Kind of like 630 in Little Rock. Wait, so is it 430 or I forgot?
A little bit,
yeah.
No, it's like historically, it's like I read a book on it. It's like a hard race line. It's better now, but it like when it was first made, hard race line.
Yeah, the one that we had is a hard race line. It has a billboard too. which is like the billboard informs you that you're currently going into South Side,
And how many
like
murders
South
there's
Side
been
of the
today.
neighborhood, not South Side the area. But yeah, how many murders there have been that year?
Oh,
Shit like that,
wow.
right?
It's like a live counter, like
Yeah.
every saying to
They've
you.
gone into the city and come back, and it was
It was
updated.
a different number.
Yeah.
And the same is true for other places. Like, look at L.A. Same exact
yeah.
thing. L.A.'s probably the most segregated city I can think of.
I've heard LA is like if you take the worst parts of
It's a
every
dumpster.
American city and put them into one city.
It's a
That's
fucking
LA.
dumpster.
Yeah.
Now, like,
It is.
it's got a lot of good culture. It's got a lot of good,
Yeah.
integrated parts of the city. But like, I saw a little person OD and die on the sidewalk,
Oh my god.
and I was just driving down the road.
I know it's probably the worst. Has probably the almost one of the worst infrastructures in America. Like it's so long and not tall.
You wanna really get mad at the infrastructure system? Go to LA and see how many homeless people there are.
Yeah.
It'll make you like you'll start out. You'll be like, this is horrifying. This is really just awful. All these homeless people, and then you'll be like, God damn it! If I see another fucking homeless person, I'm gonna fucking scream. Because it's like, it's not that you're angry at the homeless people for being homeless or you're like judging them. It's like you've been forced to watch a TV program where it's 24 hours of those fucking Sarah McLachlan commercials.
That's
Yeah.
how it was in Hawaii.
It's like
too,
I am
when
just
we-
sad.
So-
I don't want to be sad anymore. Make them go away.
What was
Yeah.
your experience like in Hawaii?
Like, there's so many homeless people because the weather there is literally always nice, so they're always out on the street.
So do they get plane tickets? Are there homeless Hawaiians or like people
It's
from
a lot
main?
of homeless Hawaiians
Oh, okay.
because people move into
Hawaii-
Hawaii.
Well,
and
Hawaiians are like ethnic Hawaiians.
Yeah.
ethnic Hawaiians
Of-
because
fuck yeah.
people move into Hawaii and it.
And the
inflation-
land there is
yeah.
the land there is more expensive than anywhere else.
I
Yeah,
bet.
and
Yeah,
that's
by
partly
far.
because of just people moving in and taking control whenever it's like they're driving up prices, like home prices.
It's
Yeah.
so bad that they have like soil use bans.
Yeah.
It's so fucked
Because
up.
think about it, you're
Yeah.
thousands of miles from the nearest source of soil. Like,
And you walk like 5 feet in Waikiki, there's a homeless person like every 5
That's so
feet.
fucked up.
and like you feel bad about it at some points because you're like, God, I just don't want to see them anymore. Because you're like, oh man, those are people. They're struggling, just like I am. But fuck, if I see another goddamn homeless person,
Well, a lot of it's like mental illness too. Like like think
yeah,
about
a lot of them,
like especially
want
like
to be
like in
there.
Arkansas, like all the
Yeah.
people we see just talking to themselves on the street, like
Well, that also
screaming.
might
Yeah.
be crack.
Yeah, and that's because like in the '80s, like because like Kennedy like did some legislation to like shut down the horrible mental asylums, and then like Congress had a new funding bill to like basically reinvigorate the American mental health system, and then Reagan was like, no, put them on the streets, they'll be fine, and that's
Divert that money to putting crack and heroin in black people's homes.
what did Reagan
Heroin.
what did Reagan sound like?
Yeah, it really was like a raspy voice.
Like a fucking evil villain.
Like no, not a raspy voice, but
like,
like
"My
a breathy
wife."
voice.
Yeah. My wife was
that the American people should.
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan.
Family.
My wife.
Ronald Reagan.
ever granted unto us.
America is
My
the
wife
shining.
Nancy is
That
the
sounds
original
Bailey.
throat goat.
So she-
My wife
something
Nancy was
about-
called
I
Just
remember
Ask
that, that's
Nancy.
weird.
Cheers to Just Ask Nancy. Clink, clink.
Clink clink.
American.
God bless Nancy Reagan.
Alhamdulillah.
God bless
Amer-
America.
She sat on Mr. T's lap.
I saw the picture.
Nice.
Nice, dude.
Nice.
Mr. T. Wait, is this Mr. T after he beat Rocky in Rocky 3? Or
I
is
think
this-
so. I think this is post rock.
Did you ever hear why he wore all those chains?
No.
Why?
Like he did an interview, and I don't know if this was his original reason for wearing all the chains, but he's like, yeah, I wear it to remind myself of the struggle that my people went through coming to America.
It's metal. It's
I
metal
wrap
as
myself
fuck.
in chains of
Yeah,
my own
it's chains,
creation and gild them in gold to represent that I have progressed past it, but I am still reminded of it to keep me grounded.
I'm just furiously writing that down for my next
Mr.
D&D
T.
character. I wear these chains.
Is that what your next D&D character is going to be?
Chain man, yes.
Is this now a D&D podcast?
This is not a D&D
Again,
podcast.
we cannot stress enough the scenario that he is in, that his
Oh, sorry, I'm
campaign
so
is
sorry.
in, does not have metal. There's this metal scarcity.
Okay, I see. However, another counterpoint. Different subject.
Well, that's not a counterpoint then. That's
I know,
just
it's
a
a,
digression.
it's a progression.
That's a red herring,
I
actually.
digress.
I have a question.
Yes.
Where do y'all want to go next? That's not the United States.
like travel?
Where do you want to visit?
Austria.
Austria.
I don't know. Probably Europe.
All of
Germany.
Europe?
Europe is a continent.
I'd love to backpack. I've never been outside the country.
Really? Yeah.
I've never been outside the continent.
The only time I've been outside of the country and continent, I went on a trip to Costa Rica when I was a freshman in college. It's really fun.
Continent.
But no, it's Central America. It's like
Central America. It's part of North
Still North
America.
American.
fuck off, Emma! I could see.
Fuck you.
I could see Bolivia from the mountain I lived on.
I'm sorry.
Zach?
You could not see. I'm sorry. You could not see.
Yes,
Bolivia.
I-
That's like 2,000 fucking miles.
We were
away.
really high. We had a telescope. The world's flat. It was
The
easy.
world might be flat, but
The firmament would have gotten in your way.
Where's
firmament definitely would have gotten
Zach?
in your
Do you
way.
want to go back to China?
No, I would not want to go back to China. At least
see
not
that.
anytime soon. Honestly, probably somewhere in Central Europe, because that's where I studied for my degree. That's what I really focused on.
Technically, you focused a lot on Africa as well.
Technically, I wrote my thesis on that, but Central and Eastern Europe. So
Yeah.
like, honestly, Poland, obviously, but Hungary, and everyone shits on it, but I like Romania.
Romania.
That is a hot
It's my
take
favorite type
right
of
now.
lettuce.
All of you Europeans listening can shit on Romanians as much as you want.
Luke
but
is
I
so
want to go
triggered
to
right
Romania.
now.
Why do you want to go to Romania?
It's one of those. I guess the best way to I can't see you because of the lamp. One of the best ways to describe is like a crossroads country, where it's not like there is something here and nothing ever happens except for what's here. Like let's say the UK, for example. There's like a couple of invasions, but for the most part, it's just English history is English history. Romania's always being influenced by something else.
Either
So
someone's
there's-
marching to it, through
Through
it, back through it, from it.
So there's a lot of the weird parts. I like weird shit in countries. Like the one, like Qingdao is a Chinese city. The only Chinese city that was owned by the Germans. So it was only owned for like 10 years. But it looks like a German city. It's so weird. Shit like that is just, it's different. You know?
30 years sounds like such a short time, but none of us are 30.
I said 10.
You
10
said
years.
30 years.
I meant
He said 10.
Did he?
Yeah. You're going deaf too?
Yes, I am actually very hard of hearing.
That'll do it.
Really? Emma, what about
What
you?
about you?
Probably Greece because that's where I'm gonna be at.
That's
soon.
cheating.
For what?
For the beach, for the
Are you going on
yummy
vacation?
Mediterranean food. Oh, yes.
Jesus Christ.
No, what is the address? Where will you be? Where can our fans find you?
Our Greek fan.
I will be on Mount Olympus.
It's not a real place.
That is a real place.
It is a real place.
It's a real
Yeah.
Believe it
place.
or not.
Alright.
Geography
it's a mean
failed.
place, obviously.
I'm into the. Yeah, no.
You can't recover.
No,
It's
I
all-
will be at the one in the sky. If that's
Eating and drinking ambrosia.
Yeah, in the clouds.
So would you fuck Zeus?
Yeah.
What if he was like a goose?
That was so fast. You're like,
Well,
yeah.
okay, so the thing is, it wouldn't really be her choice. It was
Oh damn!
Yeah,
Sorry.
you
That's
do
true.
rapist. Okay,
He
actually,
is
never mind. I don't
God.
want that.
He is
love
God.
myself
well, no, he's also just a serial rapist.
Yeah, in the stories.
God
yeah,
damn it,
No,
in my
I
Oh
don't
wait,
want
but
that.
a fucking goose walks up to you, a bull walks up to you. He's really
If
cute.
it's an animal, I'm saying.
What if it's a
no.
hot bull that can talk?
The bull comes up to you and goes, ooh, ooh.
I would say no, but I
Please,
would say,
would you please let me?
I would say no.
Ew.
And then he says, ooh, trick question.
I love how the
Ooh,
Greeks
doesn't matter.
the Greeks made all the Olympians related when they didn't have to.
Yeah.
It's like Zeus and Hera could have been not brother and sister.
You don't need any more of that. It's nasty.
That's some nasty shit.
You know what I want.
Job for that.
Hold on, did you pour things into that?
God
Yeah, it's
damn.
just ice. Don't worry about it. There's not whiskey in this.
Feel you poor boy.
very
Well, I want to
celebrating.
go to Vietnam and Thailand.
Vietnam, dude. I want to go to Thailand.
Where
Oh.
in Thailand?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I don't know.
Bangkok.
Yeah, I got you, babe.
Oh,
You want to?
so a brief shout to my. I wanted to give a shout to my friend She's Thai. She just got engaged. Congratulations.
Congrats.
She's listening.
Good job, Sai.
She's listening?
Yeah. She listens to all the podcasts.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you remember me, I was your partner in a self-defense class.
Aw, fun.
Sai, you don't remember me because we never really talked, but you do remember my sister Lauren, the dance one. So she says hello. She didn't know that you listen to this podcast, but she wonders how you doing sometimes.
I better still get that invite to the wedding side. I'm very excited.
Yeah, Vietnam, Thailand, and the Netherlands. Those are my
Right,
top three.
you should-
Right now.
you should be
hold
my-
on.
you
I
should
think
be-
you got interrupted though. Where in Thailand?
I don't know.
You should
I
be-
wanna go to Thailand.
you should
I wanna
be-
go to all of Thailand, actually.
But like
You should-
continental or islands?
You should be my
I know.
+1 when I go to Thailand for the wedding.
Oh, yeah. Take me to Thailand.
I will. Yeah, that'll be
I'll
fun.
be your wedding day.
Now, when
to
Dave
Thailand.
goes off and he says, I'm going to go find some entertainment, you should just close your ears and just hide and hope they don't see you.
No, I'm
Every
not.
man who
Have y'all
goes to
ever
Thailand
read,
has to go.
Tom Robbins books.
No, what are
Tom
they about?
Robbins books. Well, there's this one really weird one. I don't remember which Asian countries he's in.
Oh God.
But like, there's this little creature who has a really big dick, and that's what the whole story is about. This
What
creature
is
with
this?
a really big dick.
Huh?
Is that why you go to Thailand?
Is that why? Is that why you want to go?
No, but Tom Robbins is just a really weird author.
Tom Robin. What is he writing?
Is it fiction?
It was
Or-
Villa Incognito. That's what it was called. Y'all should read it. It's funny.
Is it like fictional or like what's the premise?
The
A
premise?
creature with a big
Yeah, he
heater.
like falls out of the sky. The creature like falls.
What is this?
Wait, what? It
How
sounds
do you
like
think of this?
this sounds like it. This sounds like a fever dream.
No, I read it. It is a fever dream.
Sounds like a hentai.
Dude, I
Maybe
had
a little bit.
I had COVID last week, as you guys know.
Wait, side note. Do you think he's gonna use the bidet?
He will not use the bidet unless he's taking a shit, which I
Well, he's
doubt.
taking a pee.
I said I doubt you're taking a shit unless.
Bidets are awesome. There's nothing wrong with it. It's
They're-
only a little bit gay if you do.
I mean, like, but except for the water pressure in our bathroom is nuts. So like, I turned on a little bit, like low, and it just like it hit the fucking mirror. I was like,
One from bidet to enema.
yeah,
Real quick.
like,
God.
I've never felt so clean. Use a bidet, people.
So fresh, so clean.
When I was sick with COVID, I had the most terrifying fever dream of my life. I had a dream my COVID had gotten worse and I was unable to breathe, so Emma had to take me to the hospital.
So scary.
Emma had to take me to the hospital, and when I got to the hospital, they were like, "No, you should have gotten vaccinated." But I was like, "I did get vaccinated," and I showed them my card, and they were like, oh, "Okay, sir, we're so sorry." And so they go to a bed with like a guy dying from COVID on a ventilator, and they start slitting his wrist to kill him so they can empty the bed out and give the bed to me.
Reminder: this is a dream.
This is a dream. And so as they're doing that, I'd suffocate and die from COVID. Then I wake up. I'm like, like.
Can you check the ice in the ice cube maker, see if it's frozen?
You could.
This one has ice.
Nice.
Nice.
Noise,
So
noise. Each cracking that ice.
Cracking it real good.
Crack it.
Pop it.
Okay, I have another question.
What's your question?
This is for Tristan and Zach. What are like 2 or 3 takeaways from being graduated from college? Good ones.
Okay,
I
so
don't
yeah,
want-
no,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
want
be
fake
serious.
shit.
So first of all,
It's gonna be so loud.
let's see.
Turn around.
Debt is not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary, but as long as you have enough to pay it off, and your so always think about your needs first, like what your rent is, what your gas is, what your car is, and then if you can afford the debt, keep it because that builds your credit, and you can also move that into other forms of equity.
Okay.
So right now I have two payments.
you,
I have
Okay.
$250 and I have $650.
250 and
$650 is not doable for me.
Yeah.
So when the loan forbearance comes up, I'm paying that one off. The $250 I'm keeping to build equity, to build credit, so that when I need to take out a loan to say buy a car, buy a house, or anything, I can get a higher loan limit, lower interest rating. So if you can afford the debt, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
and just let it be and keep paying it, but always make your payments on time.
Payments on time.
It's a good way to build up credit too.
Yeah. Another thing is if you have money to spare, it's best not to save it unless you're planning for something.
Okay.
Invest it in something like a Roth or into a mutual fund.
Okay.
Because, for example, my favorite example is the S&P 500.
So good.
It averages an increase of 5% per year, which outstrips the annual increase in inflation by 3%. So every year, on average, now last year was an exception, you will be making more money by having it in the S&P 500 than you will have it being in a bank, because a bank will average you about, most banks nowadays, if you're very lucky and you have a very good bank, and you probably don't, you'll average about a 1% interest.
My bank is horrible. I can't even transfer money out of the country.
Yeah,
Dude, we'll shit on Dave's bank. What bank you got?
I don't want to say because I don't want to like disparage the bank. I already said they're horrible.
So
hold on, wait. Let me mute it. Centennial.
Yeah.
So
it's a decent Arkansas.
Don't be afraid of debt. Don't be afraid of debt.
But,
invest your money in safe, non-questionable sources. Like, don't do NFTs or Bitcoin.
No, he's lying. Invest in as much crypto as you can. If you have to mortgage your house to invest in Ethereum, fucking do it. It's only gonna go up.
Okay, and my last thing is,
okay, anyway,
when you get a job, don't feel like it's gonna be your last job ever, because more than likely, especially in this economy and this mindset, you're going to underpitch yourself. So obviously do your research and say, this is what I think I should be making. You're probably going to underpitch yourself. Talk about your wages with your coworkers if they'll let you. Now, I'm not saying your work will always discourage you. If the other employees are comfortable with it, talk about your wages, because 9 times out of 10 they're comfortable with it. And that's how you start to learn what you're actually worth. Because, for instance, I am paid a certain amount, and a person who has similar experience to me just came in, and he makes way more than me. He started at $3 more an hour than I started.
Whoa.
And also,
he does have more applicable experience, but also I have experience in their industry, so it's in discussion right now. So never be afraid to move laterally. We've been taught in America to move horizontally up the ladder, climb the ladder rung by rung. Most companies nowadays, especially small ones, are not built that way. You're never going to progress up unless someone dies or retires, and those are few and far between in today's healthcare system. So you have to move, you have to jump ship.
Yeah.
And every time you jump ship, always make more money. Unless it's a quality of life situation. Like, I used to drive an hour and 15 minutes to work every day, one way. I lived in Conway, worked in Benton, worked 12-hour nights.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. I-30, rush hour, fuck my life.
That is, it's actually one of the more dangerous interstates in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
it
bad.
It took me one time, it took me 3 hours to get to work. I could have gone to Fayetteville. Right hand to God.
I would have died.
So at that point, I was making...
Right then.
Call.
So I was working
good idea.
I was working from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I had that commute. Every day that I worked, I had 30 minutes to myself to shower, eat, and shit, and lay down and try to get to sleep by 8 o'clock so that I could wake up at 4 and be rested so I could have dinner and then immediately get back on the road.
No.
So when I took a 45-cent pay cut to go to the job that I'm currently at, the cost-benefit analysis of that was by far in favor of the new job.
Yeah.
So don't kill yourself. Never be afraid to jump ship. I had people there who wanted me to be like part of their life forever. Like, would have been lifelong friends if I had kept those connections. Don't regret it a single second.
No regrets.
Like, wonderful people there. I really appreciate the people that I met there and the things that I learned there. I would never go back.
Yeah.
Never hurt yourself when you can always see a better situation. And also, a third thing, when you're applying for shit, lie.
Oh yeah, no, total. I agree.
Fucking lie. They can't fucking fact check you. You don't have anything. You have no way for them to fact check. I tell them when I was applying for this place, I was like, yeah, I'm a fucking chromatography wizard. I know all about chromatography. I don't know fucking shit about chromatography. I still don't know shit about chromatography. You think my boss is listening after a year of me working there?
Hey, Alyssa.
20. Hey, listen, pay me 20.
That's I don't. Funny story.
Okay, Dommy mommy. Okay.
Funny story.
Dommy mommy.
I was almost the manager for the Firehouse subs.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I went there and I was like, "Are you guys hiring?" They're like, "Yeah, we're looking for a new night manager." I'm like, "Tell your boss I'd be interested." And then they were, and so
Good.
And so I get a text from the boss. And she's like, have you had experience? I'm like, yeah, I've managed like a team of like guys before in a scrapyard. I can manage restaurant people, no problem. Scrapyard's way more dangerous, blah, 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 talking myself up. And then I'm like, what's the pay like? And she's like, 14 hour. I just, not enough. It's not enough. Because I make more doing my current job now. And my current job is better than being a fucking night manager for, just like a foreclosing sandwich shop.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Emma was talking to a guy, and he agreed to be my fake reference if she called, which is not illegal in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, no.
It's not. You can lie.
That is weird. That's so weird. Your
Dude,
takeaways?
I don't know if you guys know who the philosopher Max Stirner is.
Yeah. Who is he?
Do you? Oh, I thought you actually did.
No, I don't fucking know.
Because I'm gonna use his vocabulary
I'm
there.
ready.
Something that doesn't matter. That's called a spook. Imposter syndrome is a spook. I've had many friends get out of college.
Fucker, you waited until I left.
I was hoping that you were here because you'd be the only one who'd understand. But I've had so many friends get out of college and think like, well, I just have a degree, but everyone else has a degree. I'm not that good, right? You have a degree. You are in essentially like the top 10% of the population, if not like the top 1% of the population for having a degree of all.
To put in perspective, I work with a guy who's worked for the same company for 9 years. Sorry, I was about to say 19. He makes 25 cents more than I will make in April if they give me another dollar raise. And that will be my 1 year.
Oh my god.
Now, this man doesn't have a degree. He has no formal education outside of high school.
Fuck.
But he's worked for the company for 9 years.
Well, I have a story like that too. Like I used to hang out at GameStop when I was in high school.
As we all did.
As we all gamer bros.
Gamers.
We hung out at Hastings.
Yeah,
Hastings was so cool.
Rest in peace, Hastings, and rest in peace, fake Hastings.
Dude, Hastings had the coolest Halo action figures.
Yes,
they did. The McFarlane action figures.
The original fucking Arby.
Dude, they had the fucking the Reach figures too.
Yes.
They were superposable.
Good
you could fucking set up like dioramas and shit.
I don't think you ever noticed his Reach diorama when you went to his house.
I did not notice the Reach diorama.
Dude, I got the original day one Halo Reach fucking legendary edition with the diorama.
That's so sick!
And I still keep it in my house. Because I was a fucking 13-year-old kid who paid $100. The most I paid for anything in my life. And I'm so proud of
when
that.
your $1,300 is it might as well be $1 million. That's
it might as well, yeah.
I actually bought the collector's edition of Elden Ring for an amount of money I do not want to specify on the PS5, a system which I do not currently own, but I will get as soon as I can.
Based.
Because I will get the Elden Ring disc.
You buy the physical. Okay, yeah.
I'll get the Elden Ring disc before I get the system, and so
well, you get to fucking smell it. I guess.
I'm just gonna smell it and cry until I can finally play it.
Oh, that sounds super annoying.
Sorry, I love my tangents. They're so good. It's like I have Jordan Peterson level tangents sometimes, but so I used to handle at GameStop, and there was this one guy that had been working at GameStop for 12 years, and I was 13 or 14, and he would always talk to the other his other support. He was the manager, and he would talk to his employees one day I'm going to make district manager, definitely. And then I was kind of when I got older, I taught. Me and the guys actually kind of one time they let me play video games in the back. It was my favorite moment. Some new games. It was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Oh yeah, with
Kevin Spacey. Yeah.
Oh no,
Spacey and Kid Harington.
Yeah. So we were talking, and they're like, I was like, yeah, so is he gonna make district manager? He's been talking about that for like 3 years. I'm gonna hang out here, and the fucking like 16-year-old employee's like, oh fuck no, he doesn't. He has a GED, doesn't even have a degree. You can't be district manager unless you get a degree, unless you have a degree in something.
So here's something that might be interesting.
And one sec.
Okay, sorry.
And so this guy who wanted to be district manager, he would routinely like work late and like outside of hours after he clocked out, he'd stay and like clean the store up and stuff because he thought if he put in the extra hard work, corporate would notice and reward him. No, they don't give a fuck if you don't have a degree.
Well, that's the thing with big companies. I mean, like corporate is such a removed entity, especially if you're a franchise. That they're never going to notice. Like when I would say corporate, we work at a company with maybe 50 people. 2 shifts. They might notice, and even then, I don't rely on it. If you work at a big thing like that, like GameStop, it's not going to happen.
So here's something that might be interesting for you two. I work with a woman who is just as qualified as I am. She was a pre-pharma student. She literally never took a semester off her entire college career.
Fuck.
She has a biology degree. She was going to get a pre-pharma degree. Decided she didn't like it. Now has a biology degree. Sharp as a tack. Wonderful woman. I adore her. She started making what Zach makes now. Yeah. Zach is in the receiving, doing logistics and stacking boxes. She is a degree-holding scientist with just as much qualification as I have. And starting out, she made $2.50 less than me.
And I would point out, I think she's worked here for like a year.
Yeah.
At this point?
She's worked there for 6 months more than I have, and I'm almost at my year.
And I've worked here for, 3 months?
Yeah.
Wow.
Stacking boxes.
Well, like, so what, guys. See, I don't really buy this whole like gender pay gap thing. I mean, like, okay, so it's because men and women go to different. No, let me speak. So men and women go to different fields.
Hold on.
So
that's not what.
No. Make a fucking hand shape if you're being ironic or not.
Let me talk.
Okay.
So men and women go to
doesn't have my job.
Okay, yeah. So men and women go to different fields, right? So men pick jobs like doctor, lawyer, physician, and women pick jobs like female doctor, female lawyer, female physician. You just even fucking hear what I said, you idiots.
No, I heard what you said. You're not funny. I'm trying to say something legitimately important. She doesn't have the same job as me.
Yes.
She is a lab tech instead of a lab chemist because she doesn't have a chemistry degree.
That's the thing. The field that
She's
we
got a
work
degree in biology.
In the field that we work in, Dave, the I don't even know how to call it.
I don't know how much
food science field.
Food safety.
Yeah, the food safety field. It's very it's a bit more homogenized than that. Sexually homogenized.
Well, that's good. It's pretty based.
I don't know how much Dylan makes, but Dylan's got like 4 or 5 years of experience, so he's a tech. I don't know if you caught that at Twin Peaks the other day.
Raven, what career do you want to have?
Yeah, what do you go to school for?
I'm in school for public relations.
So, like, working at the PR branch of a company?
I do not want to work for a PR agency at all.
Dude, okay.
For like HR?
Listen, here's what you can do.
Okay.
Find a celebrity to work for, and every time they tweet something incredibly...
Dude, are you mansplaining?
I'm saying you should find a celebrity to work for, then every time they tweet something super racist while they're taking Ambien or something, you can cover their ass on Twitter.
I would prefer not to do that.
Yes, of course.
What do you want to do, Ray?
What do you want to do?
I don't really know. I applied to the Clinton School of Public Service.
Nice.
And we'll see about that at the end of March/April. However, I did get an offered a job like about 2 weeks ago as like a project manager at this company. I can't say the name.
Oh, okay.
At this company in Conway, which would be cool.
That's cool.
I could also just like not do anything for a year and work a random job.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
Do you want to stack boxes?
That's the thing.
Do you want
what
to
if
test
I just
dog
want
food?
to defer the Clinton School for a year and just like kind of be, you know?
Can I?
Do you want to go to law school?
Maybe.
That's a fairly decent option for you.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's a
but
lot of
do I-
different
But do
law
I
school
want to be a
specialization.
lawyer? That's the
No,
thing.
no, you don't have to be a lawyer
Yeah.
per se.
Yeah,
Yeah,
say
but
law
There's a
school.
lot of
I
different
don't know if I want to go
specializations.
to
My
law
sister's
school
going
for
into
2
law.
years.
That's why I didn't go to med school.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dave's sister.
Jolie, hell yeah, gonna be a lawyer.
I will say I
Gonna bail
probably
me
could
out
not
after
have made it to med school.
they
But I
find,
didn't have
like,
the
the
grades,
mass grave.
but I could
Pour one out
have
for
done more
Dave.
schooling than I
Jolie,
did.
good luck.
4 years was enough. I fucking hated my time here.
Yeah, see, I don't hate school. I really don't hate it.
love
I did
learning.
during COVID just because
No,
I
that's-
was not
That
around
sucked.
literally
That sucked
anyone,
dick.
so
COVID
that was
sucked dick.
so awful.
Yeah,
And
I can't imagine going to school during COVID.
Dude,
And, like,
I
like being able to keep with it. Like you actually would have had to have dropped out because you don't have internet.
well, I wouldn't be fair. No, I thought about that being a teacher for a college during COVID. Like these students, this generation of students is fucked.
Fucked.
Oh, we had sophomores that didn't know where anything was on campus because this is their first year on campus.
Well, that's the thing. Is like
Yeah.
knowing nothing on campus, sure, but being able to adjust to college life, you
Yeah.
cannot do that electronically.
You can't.
You also have to be the right age. We had a very sweet girl start with us. Homeschooled, graduated early. She was
No.
16.
Yeah, we had that happen last year. Yeah, yeah.
I think that's a fucking crime.
I think it should. That's some sort of like.
I think there should be a minimum age requirement for.
I agree completely.
yeah, I do too.
Because the 16-year-old I knew from my experience, like, it was weird because she was super nice, but no one really felt they could invite her to anything because she was so young. Like, she can't date anyone. Talking to her romantically is literally a crime. You can't buy, you can't give her alcohol because she's literally a minor, like an actual minor.
Dude,
And, like,
honestly,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care if you're like a mature 16-year-old or what.
Yeah,
It's just
oh,
the world
you're still
experience
16.
Yes.
that it is. The difference between 16 and 18
I
and
remember
21.
being 19 and a freshman in college and talking to a senior who was 18 in fucking high school and being like, "You're a different person.
You're at different stages in your life. Yeah.
You know, high school. I think it's like different, literally different developmental periods.
Yeah.
That's why I have like this hypothesis based off of no sociological research, just based on personal experiences. That
Fuck research.
Fuck research. It's gay. Europeans, like, they seem to be so much more mature than us, like at younger ages. Like for example, like it's more common for them, like when they're high school age, it's more common for them to like travel around by themselves without parental supervision. Like
I do-
through multiple
yes.
countries. I knew kids in high school that weren't that never left the state without their parents, and that's not an abnormal thing for us here either. Like, you can't just go on a road trip with
Honestly,
your friends when you're like 15.
In small cities, you can probably count in super small cities.
Yeah.
You can probably count the amount of times they've gone outside and probably traveled to the capital of their own state on one hand.
Yeah, exactly. Like for Lonoke, sometimes going to like Little Rock or Memphis is kind of a big deal. But like, I have a very good friend. Her parents let her her parents had no problems with her and her sister following like this rave group around Europe for like a month, like a caravan. They even went to England when they were like 17 together. Like, and so when they got here, they're like, why do the 18-year-olds, like, no, they'd ask me why, like, they ask you too, like, why do the 18-year-olds here act so fucking dumb? Why are they like actual children? Like, because when they get to college, it's their first taste of freedom ever.
True.
I think we catch up pretty quickly though.
I think we do catch up, but because like by 19, I was like, oh yeah, I know what it's like having freedom.
Like, there was no difference between us and the foreigners that were here last semester.
Yeah, no, there wasn't at all. We were all even, like,
Pretty much.
On even kilter.
Yeah.
Going back to my job, donor relations, fundraising, nonprofit stuff, grant writing.
Oh, that seems right
So
for
you can be
alley.
a good person.
Yeah. Raven is a good person. Just,
That doesn't
good,
earn money.
good
Yeah.
people.
That's
Ew.
There's always the Peace Corps.
No, thank you.
What about AmeriCorps?
I am
They don't
part
give
of
you guns. I'm
AmeriCorps.
telling you.
Oh, you're
Peace
already
Corps.
part of AmeriCorps?
I'm a
Nice.
quarter time AmeriCorps member.
Nice.
Quarter time?
Quarter time.
What does that mean?
It means 15 hours a week.
Oh.
Yeah.
15 hours a week is quarter time.
Dude, come on! Like, that Reddit mod walks dogs more hours than you
I
trying
was
to
about to
say.
that Reddit mod's doing all right.
Right.
She's got an
Except
interview
they
on
don't.
facts.
Oh, they
Except they don't.
10 hours a week.
She got an
Oh,
interview
yeah.
on facts.
Doreen, like,
Doreen?
dude, that fucking Fox guy's face, and he's like, "Do you want to be anything more than a dog?" Why his face?
Dude,
he was so happy.
The first time
That
that
guy
the
is,
interview cut off, and it was just it cut off Jesse Waters and just put Doreen on the screen.
Yeah, they're like,
You
look
know
at this
he was losing
unkempt.
He could
his
not take it.
shit. God.
Dude, I really.
And how he's like gripping everything in him. He's like, don't fucking do it. Don't fucking
He
laugh.
did
And
this.
he,
like,
I will give him that. It might have been
He-
like a fucking 4-minute interview, but he made it
Yeah.
until like a 3-minute mark before
Yeah.
he said something that was so cringy. He was like, "Ah, you know, his face just started contorting.
He
And,
just
Yeah.
the biggest grin I've ever seen on
God.
a grown man broke out. He
God,
knew that
that
he had
man-
made history.
he was happy.
I
He
mean,
was happy.
this is why I think like that whole subreddit drama is the reason why no major leftist organizing happens, because of all the infighting.
Yes.
Well, I
Yeah,
think,
like the left
I
always
think
eats itself. Like,
I feel that's
I think
all with
it's-
every movement. The right
No.
also eats
well, like
itself.
I
I
think that-
feel
I
like
agree.
2016 Trump, like he called Ted Cruz's wife a dog to his face, and Cruz was like, "Yes, Daddy Trump, vote for
that
him."
was true.
I'm
I
sorry.
do think in general, political movements like that have the people who organize it with way more radical movements than the people who support it. And
Yeah.
for anti-work, that was more evident further away from an election. They put the right time to do it. If it were closer to November or something, then it would have had a different result, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
because the people who started anti-work were much more like anarcho-communist.
No,
the
and-
best
and-
way to put it.
And sorry, I'm going to be well. Actually, it's like
Actually.
anarcho, ecologist. It's like people that believe don't work. Like they should not work. That no one should work. It should all be automated.
But like not
Anarcho-
to the Ted Kaczynski level. Who
And-
is based, by the way.
Anarcho-communism is like we should all live in communes and govern ourselves and defend ourselves. And
What's the
you
thing?
still
is that
have
the-
to work in a
no,
commune.
the commune people. I'm sorry, I forgot. The principles of anarcho-communism are you have to work. Most people do not abide by those principles. I was in a Twitter thread. I'm still salty about it because some like leftist streamers like what like it was kind of like a meme. It's like, what do you want your job to be in the commune? Reply below. It was like kind of like half-hearted satire, but people were answering genuinely. And I was like, I think I'd like to work in the fields and take care of livestock because I grew up doing it. No, I literally grew up doing it. Like so.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I would do that.
I
And
mean-
people were shitting on me for wanting to
Oh,
do
you
manual.
use.
I
Okay.
said that. And I did. I was like, I want to do manual labor. And then like people were shitting on me for wanting to do manual labor, saying I was been brainwashed by bourgeois capitalists. And there were literally people saying I would be the tarot card reader or the babysitter or the therapist. No one was like, I will work in the coal mines.
That's the thing. Have you ever worked on a fucking farm before?
I have.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
is that
yeah.
everyone else, the other people in the anti-work subreddit, have you ever tried fucking growing? I've tried growing tomatoes for years. We have a fucking, half of our yard is a tomato farm, and it's failed most of the time. The times we get it, it's alright, but still, that's what get me, is that they don't get it.
It's
And I think it's a lot of people who have the political beliefs are... I don't even think... They don't read theory and they don't have the practice of it. So I don't know where they get it from. You know what I mean?
It's like the upper middle class white kids. I'm going to invoke that because it's the only thing I see. It's like
Yeah.
there's this one guy, one of the people that's in the thread that was like, I want to be a coffee mate, like a coffee barista for the commune. I went through their profile. They talked about how they come from like a middle class family with like their combined net worth is like a couple $1 million. I'm like, a middle class family that's a couple $1 million is not the
Lower
average.
upper
Yeah.
class.
That's
Think
lower
about
upper
that.
Like
Even
people do
think
not
about
realize
that.
how. Yeah.
Think about that position
Oh my
if
God.
you're anarcho-communist. Where are you going to get the coffee from? Do you think they grow coffee in the United States? No. You're going to have to buy it from somewhere.
So I'd like to do a bit of a digression. The girls asked some questions about like what it's like after college. Do you guys have any more questions, or did our answers help you at all? You know, you asked the 3 things I would recommend. Was that helpful? Do you have any more questions?
It was helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's helpful. And
Okay,
interesting.
I just didn't want you guys to be alienated from the conversation.
Did you guys learn you should invest in crypto?
I did not
Yeah,
learn that.
I did learn that.
Good for you. Raven, what'd you say? I didn't hear what you said.
Anecdotally,
Was it that you don't?
a friend
invest
of
in
ours-
We
crypto?
don't do that. We don't do that.
anecdotally,
Good
a
girl.
friend of ours 2 weeks ago lost $4,000 in the crypto market.
I do.
And
need
some
to start-
jackass at his work
Double
said,
down.
Double down.
What an idiot! That's like the
I do need
GME
to
shit.
start
No man,
investing,
no man.
but not
Crypto's
in
on sale.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
I
China
haven't
banned abandoned. It's
Don't
gonna-
say it,
Are
Mom.
you-
Don't say it.
Are you going to be an American forever?
I don't know.
Find a rich
Because that's the thing is that
German man.
if you're going to be an American, Roth.
Raw.
If you're not going to be an American,
But what if I don't
Something
know? I don't
Wait,
know.
what?
To put it in perspective, you can have a Roth if you're not. You'll still have American citizenship if you take another one.
the only way that you can get another citizenship if you're not born that way is you have to renounce your American citizenship.
Wait, aren't there
they
some
will
countries
they
that
will
do-
like just like
You can't get
override.
like dual Canadian citizenship.
I thought you
if
could.
you're born like Murray.
Hmm?
Murray is our friend who was born to a Canadian father and grew up in Canada. He gets Canadian citizenship because he has a Canadian father. None of us, as far as I know, do.
So like if I'm married into if I'm married a Canadian,
If you married a
I have
Canadian,
to renounce my American citizenship.
right?
Wow.
Unless Canada gives you citizenship, but the American things would no longer apply to you as a Canadian citizen. You see what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
So you
complicated.
are you can get whatever citizenship you want, but as far as America is concerned, you're an American first and foremost.
That's fair. So
Yeah.
the reason this is particularly imperative is that a Roth account is a type of investment account where you cannot take out of it. You can always put into it, but you cannot take out of it until you retire. I think it's like 65.
I think it's actually 55.
That's
Oh.
pretty
It's
close.
earlier than retirement, but it's still a whole lot.
Yeah.
And if you take it out at 55, you don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
And it's a shit ton of money.
Especially if you invest it right. Or if you have like a mutual fund.
Yeah, I'm saying honestly, if you invest in a Roth, you're gonna make money.
That's how you,
But you gotta wait.
honestly, adjusting for Social Security is a bad idea.
Apparently, aren't we not going to have Social Security when we retire?
Oh, absolutely. We are
That's the
paying
thing.
into something that's not going to exist.
Yeah,
right
it's-
now.
it's why-
That's
I just
why
want to
It's
remember.
not gonna be
I've-
there, baby.
Yeah, climate war time. Hell
Yeah!
yeah!
That a lot of countries are doing that. Is that old people are gonna keep living longer, and young people stop forgetting to make children.
Yeah.
So
We
you're not gonna have as much money
That's why
for
I need the
anyone.
Aja Stupa.
That's why we need to like start.
Genau, alle.
You know.
This is why we must start like popping out as many kids as we can.
I'm trying my best.
Me too.
but
I'm trying to.
He's too good at the pull-out method.
It's not.
I am. It's just natural, dude.
Oh God.
He's
Yeah.
not a dummy. He always comes with a dummy.
Stop. I hate that phrase so much.
It's a cute phrase.
Oh,
No.
It's a cute phrase.
No.
are you not a shit sack? So you come on the back?
Dude, we sat in a fucking apartment for 3 hours and just came up with different rhymes like, don't be that guy, come on our eye.
No, that's so bad. I'm trying to like the worst thing I've ever spent like wasted my time on with God.
I want
Dumb-
to go home soon.
We're about to call it.
Okay.
In like
How do we
2
rhyme that? I don't know how to rhyme
I
that.
want to
dude.
go home soon. Do heroin out of a spoon.
Oh yeah, that was so quick.
I don't think it does the fertility, but it does the trick. It
My
does the
natural
trick.
urge to do heroin is kicking in. I think I'm going to shoot up now. It's been a very informative podcast. I think we covered a wide variety of topics
Very
from
wide.
the aliens versus predator. Oh, also one more tangent. So my couch broke, right? And I fixed it by. So Tristan came over to help me. He was the only. I called for aid, and he like Gondor. He decided to answer, and you didn't answer, Zach.
No, fuck you.
You didn't answer.
I was like one rider that just happened to be out on patrol who saw the fire. I was like, eh.
Yeah. So eventually, what I did was I had some like aircraft grade cable, and so
Why?
Oh, this entire situation is fucking stupid.
and so
You need to hear
I
this.
got so mad.
So there was a steel cable that ran under the couch, and it was broken. And I thought I could like reinforce it with some wood. Couldn't find any wood. But I'm like, oh, if I get an aircraft cable, I can do it. And so no, he and I kind of like take turns going at it until eventually it's really stupid. But then I figure out a way to use metal ties to tie the aircraft cable under the couch, and it worked. And I did like 3 runs. So that one strip of the couch should basically be indestructible now, and it gives you so much more support. You don't sink into the couch deep anymore.
It still
proud of
needs
you.
some more fluff.
We need more foam. We need more
But
foam.
he did the
Yeah.
thing.
You'll see.
It's better for sure.
It feels better. You should sit on the couch.
Okay.
And with that, I think we're going to call the cast. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you
Thank
next
you.
week. Same time, same place. What should we talk about next week?
God.
How about me and Emma come up with
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
We have-
Raven and Emma time.
Yeah, next week is the Raven and Emma conversation. Hell yeah.
Yes, we gotta think of something.